I feel like I turned out all right, though. Why should people vote for you? What is on your agenda?
I am a strong voice and advocate for Foxton. At the moment, I'm the youngest person standing. I am one of only 3 women standing.
Oh, you guys only went to this or only did that or only do this because there's a camera? No.
Holy moly, like, that wasn't abusive because of that one physical act. There was a lot in there that wasn't okay.
Well, I saw you in that moment, mate. It destroyed me. Like, I'm going to fucking cry. I'm not even kidding.
I wish I could say.
You know when you see a sad face, like you draw a sad face and you have the shape? I literally felt that it wasn't safe for me to talk about things, but my measure of what a harmful relationship was I getting hit or not? Grief is just love with nowhere to go.
Yeah, you've done a TED talk?
Yes.
Our nightly routine was take 3 Tramadols. I had to like function on 3 Tramadols deep. Like kids these days don't even know how to play with toys. That's her final words, and this is the person that meant the most to me.
Because I've never seen those 2 cry.
Wow.
Someone fucked up and made a stupid decision.
I'm a little more diplomatic, all right?
Welcome back to Making a Statement podcast. My name is Dilz. This is Making a Statement Entertainment, and we're all about breaking the stigma. So tonight we've got another very special guest. We'll introduce you to in a second. Makingastatement.co.nz. Go and check us out. You can check out our clothing range. You can check out our podcast. You can check out our music and everything else we've got going on. I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro as well. That took a lot of mahi.
It's good. I actually just watched it back.
It's cool, eh? It's cool. But again, we're about breaking the stigma. Over here, I got my brother-in-law, Brother E.
Hi, I'm Ethan.
And our guest tonight is Irene Wakefield, a Foxton District Community Board nominee,
All right.
a domestic violence prevention founder of a charity,
All right.
and
Got that?
the head of the Sort Our River Trust.
Save Our River.
Save Our River.
There you go.
nearly
It's
nailed it.
so close. Like
Chairman.
Chairperson.
Chairperson. I like it.
Important
But that's a
distinction.
bulky introduction, so welcome.
Thank you.
I know it's hard, but maybe can you just give us a brief summary of that and who you are?
Yeah, for sure. So, tēnā tātou ko Irene Wakefield tōku ingoa. He uri a hau no Ngāti Raukua ki te tonga me Ngāti Kahunganu. Yep, I was raised here in Te Awaho, Foxton. I really struggled to boil myself down to a title, but I think you've named a couple of key things that are pretty top of mind for me at the moment. So, yeah, chairperson of Save Our River Trust means I've come home because one of the things I really care about is seeing our awa restored and being a safe place for our children and our mokopuna to swim in and to have positive interactions in. Here to raise my whānau, but also to give back to our community, and so part of that standing for the Te Awaho Foxton Community Board as well.
That's massive.
That's beautiful.
That's
I like
awesome.
it, and I'm looking forward to like the conversations we're about to have.
Yeah.
Here on the Making a Statement podcast, we kick us off with a mental health check-in. So it's a touch base out of 10, the week that you've just had and your current where you're at.
Yeah.
Out of 10, how are you?
Yeah. Well, because I know this is about a bit of real talk, I'm literally going to say I'm a 5 today. Why am I a 5? I'm a bit tired. I've been out there in community a lot, doing a lot of mahi, making sure I'm connecting with locals. But this is also a significant week for me as well. It's always a tough one. It's my sister's 5-year anniversary since I lost her this week. And so building up to that always brings back a lot of memories. So I'm doing that community stuff, holding a bit of that grief in my pocket as well, and just trying to show up and do the things that I do here.
That's very tough, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your sister. And like we kind of touched on it briefly just before, like Foxton's a small town.
Yes.
And I actually noticed you're Ngāti Raukua as well. So I don't know, maybe we're cousins. I don't know how that works.
We
but
would be if you are, yeah.
Yeah, so I am too. And, you know, Foxton's roots and history, they do run deep. And, you know, I think about our river as well. And what you just said, that is powerful. And I love that you're out here in our community doing that. But thank you for, keeping it real with us and letting us know where you're at. A 5 is quite a difficult, you know, state of mind because then you got to try and pack yourself up and come through and do a podcast and put on a happy face, right?
Yep, I hear you. But you just be real, right? If I was only ever trying to get out there when I was a 10, then what would I be doing out there in the community?
Exactly.
That's the reality.
You got to show up, eh?
That's right.
That's a part of it. It's
That's
the heart
right.
on the sleeve. It's that commitment, that discipline.
Totally.
And that's awesome. Brother E, how are you? I know you've started a new job. So let's, you know, hear about how that's going.
I'm tired too.
I'm tired too.
I'm tired. It's going good. The job's going good. I just had a busy weekend, had a big breakdown yesterday. So I did like an 11-hour day yesterday. And then even today, did like a 9 and a bit hour day today as well. And then I got home maybe half an hour ago, had a
Now
shower.
back to May.
Had a shower, had a feed, and then I was back out here. So definitely tired. Mentally still feeling pretty good, but just drained. So, but I don't think it's really having an impact on how I'm feeling mentally. So I would say I'm probably still sitting at about a 7 or an 8. Every day gets closer to meeting my son, so I'm getting quite excited. So,
How long to go now?
5 weeks, I think.
5 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's 5 weeks now, so it's coming fast too.
Yeah, and baby can come anytime.
I know, and I keep reminding myself of that, and we're supposed to be going to Wanganui tomorrow, and I'm nervous. Well, I'll do that today's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, but next week, it'll be last week, Tuesday. So
What the fuck?
well, because the episode, like, I keep thinking about when the episode comes out, so when people are
But did
hearing
you
me
understand
talk.
what you just said?
Yeah.
At least somebody's going to rewind this and keep watching it and watching it.
No, but you know what I do this every week when we talk about it.
But you
yeah.
understood it. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yesterday's
I understand
tomorrow.
everything I say. Most people don't understand.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's a good time to
So-
plug the rangatahi jar too, because I just dropped one.
Yeah.
So one, I've got some money I need to donate.
You got a bit of debt, do you?
Yeah,
He always has to every week.
ticking the jar. But yeah,
I
we
think
got
you might be nearly square after that.
a
nearly.
$20 going into our rangatahi jar.
Can you write that down, Trev, that he put 20 in just so we know?
Yeah, I think I'm caught up pretty much because I think my 18
You did
was
a
the last I heard.
you did a 50 and you're at 44 last time.
So I'm maybe.
I think
Should I just pay some extra and get
you
ready
might
for this
be
episode?
you might be in credit, but I tally it all up at the
Yeah, I
end,
won't be by the end of the episode. So 50 cents goes into our rangatahi jar every single episode per curse. If you're swearing, you're more than welcome to. And we will cover your cost. So the
and it's
brother,
for the kids.
Kazi DJ TJ
Me.
over
So
there.
fuck no. Joke, you know what I mean? Though.
Yes, so we're even now. So yeah, we're raising funds, $500. We cap it, and we're going to do something to give back to the youth in our
Nice.
community.
Nice.
And you know,
Love
that's
that.
finding a rhyme and a reason in what we do. Because you know, it is uncensored, it's unfiltered. That's our podcast, uncensored, unfiltered, and it's unedited. You can see like Kazi DJ TJ's behind the scenes switching our cameras. We just flip this. We could upload it at the end of it if we wanted to, because we just go unfiltered, unscripted, uncensored, and unedited.
That's cool.
That's what we do. And it's just having a real talk conversation, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, in saying that, Kazi DJ TJ, how are you? Out of 10, how's the drama going?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
The production, I should say. Everyone's going to be like, what's the cost?
I think I'm like maybe 9 today.
Nice.
That one that's missing to make it a 10 is because I got a real itchy eye right now.
Itch it, my G.
And I've been trying to rub it all day, but it's not going away.
That's
You
a
better
pink
ask
eye.
your missus the
That's
question.
pink eye, G.
Yeah, what's she been doing at night while you're asleep, bro?
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's been going good. The acting, starting to do most of my songs, and yeah, it's just normal rehearsal stuff, I guess.
Mean.
Nice.
And showtime, when was the dates? Do you got the dates yet?
First day, hold on. When's the mini-fest again?
November 30.
30th.
Okay, so it's the 27th, 28th, and 30th. I think that's the starting weekend.
Oh, big weekend for you, eh?
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks of it.
Yeah.
Mean.
Wow.
Cool. Well, we're going to have to make sure we catch one of those in community out there in Foxton. Maybe make sure that you can try and catch that too. It's Hairspray in Levin, and Cuzzy DJ TJ is Link. Is it Link?
Yes.
Yeah. So congratulations, lead role. So thank you, Cuzzy DJ TJ. I'll say I'm at a 8. I'm quite happy and feeling proud of just everybody around me right now. I got home from mahi and wifey had finished painting the conservatory and because we're renovating and you know, she's really just putting in that work over the school holiday period. So that's really cool. And just proud of my team. Like we just shot a new music video last week and we brought it all in house, and Brother E couldn't shoot the first section because he got a call out just as we were showing up. We had a scene book that was like locationed and scheduled and rostered this, and we had, you know, everybody arriving on time, and we've got a released schedule that we got to adhere to too. Like this is coming out mid next month, and we got to get it edited, and like we got to pull off this massive mahi schedule. But it just makes me proud that the team are like just as committed to the vision because they see, and you know, but look at what we've done. So I can't say that enough and stress it enough. Like Making a Statement Entertainment is me, like, but it's not just me, it's these guys as well.
You got to have a good crew, right?
Yeah,
Behind
and
you.
there's
It's
whānau,
awesome.
like this is my brother-in-law, and that's the cuzzy down over there running the hot seat. Well, they're doing ones and twos. So yeah, absolutely proud of my team and proud of my whānau, proud of my family. My old man has given up vaping.
Nice.
Yeah, he's doing really well too.
Doing really well, and my old lady has pulled back on some of her wine consumption. So shout out to mum too. She's replaced it with like fruit smoothies and stuff,
Nice.
trying to reduce her intake. And yeah, just my granddad as well. He's doing awesome. We lost my gran. Talking about loss before. You mentioned that, you know, grief is something that you wanted to have a conversation about. So we'll definitely talk about
That's
that.
important. Yeah.
Just before we do kick off our kōrero, Cuzzy DJ TJ, we need our hot topic. And so essentially for anybody viewing for the first time and for yourself, Irene, this is just previous guests putting in a subject or a topic or a conversation starter, a one word or a liner, a sentence, whatever. It's their thoughts go in that jar and we pull it out and
break the stigma.
That starts us off. And it is breaking the stigma because it could be anything. It could be anything in that jar and we're about to talk about it, right? So there's breaking the stigma. That's what we're about. This is the clothing brand. You know, you can go and
I got
get
a new
this.
jersey.
Look at, I like this combination, G. That hat and that my jersey on, it just made me go, holy shit.
This is my jersey.
Well, that's, yeah. Well, actually, like, fun fact, that's the one Aroha Lee designed. So that's
Yeah, I like
wifey's
these.
jersey.
These are like my favorite so far. This
Yeah,
this
black and
design. I
gold.
like.
What about the ones I designed?
I like it, but I like the subtleness of the small writing.
Yeah, they're actually getting quite a lot of orders too.
They're
Like,
good.
That's cool,
This is
bro.
my favorite.
So shout out to Care Design because I've collabed with them and they now...
I don't think you can read it.
It's my...
Pass it
Hold
over
on.
here.
Shout out to
No.
Care Design because Foxton Main Street, you can now go and get Making a Statement apparel. You can walk into a shop, place your order or get something off the shelf, and that's absolutely massive. So shout out to Care Design, 41 Main Street. I'm going to have to fucking check that, but I think it's 41 Main Street. And yeah, awesome team there. If you need anything locally done in the graphic space, the design space, and something physical, they can make it happen. They're awesome. I've just
They're
done
amazing.
1,000 business cards for me and they all look amazing.
Nice.
So they're such a cool team as
They
well.
are.
I
Yeah.
think it's cool to be able for like not just for you that you have your clothes there, but to also be able to give that to a local business.
Yeah.
So you're bringing
100%.
the work to them. It's not being outsourced to other
100%.
people. Like you're being able to do something in the community. Like I like that.
Yeah, it's collaborative, but it makes it all Foxton born and bred right
Yeah.
now. Well, not born
I
because
like
it
that.
started out of Foxton, but was now bred. No, because it started out of Foxton. It's now currently
Yeah.
in Foxton.
Yeah. But it was
You're
there.
pouring back in to the
Yeah,
local
exactly.
economy, and that's what's important.
Yeah, it's an awesome collaboration. They do such awesome mahi. They treat it with pride, and that's what I'm like. Another team I'm proud of. Like, you know, they treat my brand with pride. They treat it with the respect. They display it. They photograph it. They video it. They take setups, mannequins with it. They put displays on it with it. They help do giveaways for our community with it. Like
So
they're really looking after the product, and I'm really proud of that collaboration and who they are and how, you know, welcomed into the Foxton community. And I love that they've just launched a business and she's now gone full time.
Yeah,
so that's
they're doing
massive.
amazing mahi
Yeah.
down there.
Awesome. So Care Design, Foxton, go check them out. Pretty please. Hot topic, my cuzzy.
Did you figure it out?
Okay, so I know who who wrote this one. This is obviously John's.
Oh shit.
Okay.
John is a previous guest we had on the podcast, The Conversation with a Porn Addict. So go and check that one out if you want to dive deep.
So this could be interesting.
This could be interesting. I'm
Not
worried.
really. It's pretty basic. So,
okay.
The hot topic is addiction, but right next to it does a slash, and I'm not sure if that says known or not, or known of not. I just know it has known and not,
Maybe like
and then
common,
another dash.
Maybe like common and uncommon, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Like
that
what's
makes
some
sense.
uncommon addiction?
Okay.
I'm thinking that's what that is. Are you in agreement? So maybe we have a conversation about uncommon addictions. That's what I get from that.
I don't really know too many
I
uncommon
feel like
addictions.
porn addiction was probably an uncommon addiction in terms of being labelled.
I think
because
it's probably-
I think a lot of people watch porn, but I don't realise a lot of people probably think they're addicted to porn.
I think also they're probably not going to openly go and say, like, they're not everybody's as confident as John to come out and talk about that. So I think, yeah.
He took a lot of balls to come on this podcast and talk about
Well, he has
humping
his,
his shit.
he has his own podcast.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
But it is important, though, to put lots of voices to this kōrero. In my background in family violence prevention, I did work in spaces, particularly in schools, where I would come in and work with the girls. And there's a guy, I don't know if you've come across Richie Hardcore before.
I've heard the name. I have heard the name.
I would have a listen into
Yeah.
some of his kōrero. He speaks a lot about porn and the influences that it has over young men and how that can inform their perception of what sex looks like when done well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think porn gives you an unrealistic view on the sex that you'll get in a relationship. I think that's something to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go with this one, boys?
I was trying
porn?
No, I don't watch it, but I was trying to think of another uncommon addiction. So
I think social media is an addiction. I think I'm not. It's not uncommon. These are too common that I'm thinking porn addiction and social media addiction, but they're unlabeled. Like people aren't
They're not
registering.
talked about very
Yeah,
often.
they're not registering
either.
that it's like an addiction.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a break away from reality, but I think it's an unhealthy breakaway, depending on the content that you're watching and consuming.
And how much of it? How often?
Because I wake up in the morning. I was waking up in the morning early, getting up, having a coffee, and then sitting there and watching crap on YouTube. But I've since then changed that. I actually just recently started my journey with Christianity, and I started getting up and reading the Bible in the mornings and stuff like that. And I actually find that I feel better than before when I was just wasting that whole hour of my own time just watching something that's not really important.
Yeah.
That's your phone.
And it's, the TV or my phone or whatever it was. It's even my lunch breaks. I've started taking it with me to work, and that.
I know we use it as a prop in the music video.
You did use it. I didn't really agree with it, but
It worked, bro. I gave it its honor.
Yeah. So even that, like, just. So I've spoken on it, I think last episode, going to the gym in the mornings with my good friend. He's also on his journey with Christianity, and we've gone for coffees afterwards, and we actually sit there and have proper conversation about meaningful
Beautiful.
topics. And I feel like sitting there and doing that, I feel more wholesome than sitting there and talking about crap and gossip about, oh, this person's doing this and this person's doing that, and just consistently doing it. I feel like it's sitting there and having a proper conversation is actually better. And I feel, for me, that's been my way to step away from social media, because even then you sit there and talk about crap and then it goes to nothing, and then you pick up your phone and start scrolling on your phone or something like that. I feel like
I scroll when I'm taking my morning shit.
how do I know it was going to lead back to that? It was
What do
like
you mean,
such
how
a
did
deep
you know?
conversation, and then you're just like, I do shit.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's my time in the morning where I do have a scroll, is when I'm taking that time out. But no, I understand what you're saying 100%, because like when me and the bro Logan get together now, we talk about reconnection.
Putting your phone
and
down.
it's putting your phone, and that's what I've been drilling into him, and we've been talking a lot about. And I started so my gran passed away, and her final words were to me. I was with her and I walked out of the room and she passed away like minutes later. Like I was in there, and the crazy thing is I felt like I felt like it was her leaving. I felt like it. And she hadn't been coherent for like the whole 24 hours.
It was like a day or two.
Yeah, like my mum and aunties stayed with her the night before and they couldn't even have a conversation with her. And I had a whole videoed conversation. I videoed it. It went for like 15 minutes and I just talked to her and I had a whole ass conversation. I haven't showed anybody except for my wife. But like, and then I walked out of the room and she passed away.
Wow.
And that was crazy. Where was I even
The last
starting?
thing that she said was
The
about
last
kids.
thing, the last thing she said to me was, kids these days don't even know how to play with toys.
Which was so impactful. I remember when you told us about that.
Life. That changed my life. So now I've really put a focus on reconnection, which is like this, this is connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually talking minus the digital world.
But you receive us on the digital world, so go watch us on YouTube and listen to us on Spotify.
But this is the difference. But because I said, like I said, you can watch crap or you can watch impactful things.
Yeah,
so
are you getting value from it?
Exactly.
Is it investing something in your life or not? Yeah,
Exactly.
People are watching 2-hour, 40-minute videos of us talking, bro. Nearly 3
cool.
hours. I thought, you could watch the whole Harry Potter.
I didn't really concept that. I was like, you could watch another
There's
podcast.
a long movie out there, like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, all these long-ass movies, bro.
But then you've got real talk, right?
Yeah, they watch us.
And you're having kōrero about things that others might not be able to have with their mates at the moment. They might not have that ability to go there. And so if they're sitting and listening to you for 2.5 hours and learning and gaining mātauranga from you, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm going to just... The whole thing for me, so I'm going to circle back. Brother E talked about babies 5 weeks away. My boy was 6 weeks away and wifey went into labour and premature. So all of a sudden I got a son on the way. Holy shit. But the night before that, because I had ruptured my pec and painkillers, I was having Tramadols all the time. And you take one, it wouldn't do much. And I was waking up at night like in pain, couldn't get back to sleep and that. So I'd take a couple. But by the time you take a couple, you build up tolerance, and so all of a sudden my nightly routine was take 3 Tramadols, and I went to sleep at 12, and then she went into labor at 2 or 3 in the morning, and I had to like function on 3 Tramadols deep, and like my baby's on the way, and then like the chaos that came off the other end of that with a baby that just came unexpectedly. I didn't actually go to sleep for over 48 hours. But I heard an artist that I'm a huge fan of, 360 from Australia, and I'm going to put this out there again, like he's one of my biggest idols. He signed me when I went to his concert in Wellington, and so when I talk to him I say, I'm that guy, but he's been talking to me for years behind the scenes. He's like, we're not ready yet, it's not time for us to collab, and I keep saying it's almost time. So I think 360, if you're watching this, we really need to make it happen, and what you're about to listen to, if you've listened this far, is important. But he was the inspiration to this podcast. And what we do with the concepts is because I heard him talking on a podcast about his painkiller addiction, where he started taking X amount of Nurophens like every day. He was taking tablets or whatever, sheets of Nurofen. And I heard him talking about it in a way that I resonated with, when it made me identify with what I was doing, like how like the cycle that was, like the realistic side of things, because I wasn't talking to other people in that about, hey, fuck, I'm taking Tramadols. It was natural, like I was in pain, like but I'd started taking too many and building up a tolerance in that. And then I heard him talking about it, and it made me want to be able to have conversations that break the stigma, because I felt like that's what he did for me in that matter. But then wake up call obviously was son coming 6 weeks early, and you got to try zombie state your way through it.
First baby, was it?
My first baby, but wifey had 2, so we call them my bonus sons, and they call me bonus dad.
Beautiful.
And she had those 2, but they've been I've been in their life since they were 1 and 2.
Awesome.
And it's funny, like wifey was asking, who's your guest tonight? And I said, Irene Wakefield. And I pulled up your page and we're having a little scroll, and she goes, oh yeah, this. And then she's seen the photo of your son, and she goes, oh, that's, I can't remember which your son's name was, but he goes to school with Raiden and that. So again, Fox and Small World.
Yes,
Apparently they're friends at school.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
But it's Foxen.
that would be my boy Tumoana.
He
is the social one of the crew. And also, like, I would call him a bonus son. He's my sister's boy.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's been with us for 5 years now. And he's the real social kid of the 4 that we have.
That's beautiful. And can you tell us a little bit about, what you've just touched on and that background and that story there?
In terms of, like, my nephew, my sister, taking
on your nephew.
Yeah, of course I can. I think the first thing I'll say is, when I think back to when I was looking to move home, I was in Wellington. I lived there, sort of built career, started a business and that there. I do remember this one day thinking, man, I think I need to go home. Like, I had a daughter, my first child. She would only have been a couple of months old. And I remember saying to my husband, I think I need to move home and be by mum and dad and be by my sister. And, like, on paper, it made no sense, right? Why would you live in Foxton when your life, your friends, your career, your business is in Wellington? Why would you do that? But I couldn't deny the pull. And I came home convinced hubby to leave Wellington. He'd never lived anywhere other than Wellington before. And I did it, and I said, I really want my kids to be raised around their auntie and their mum and dad and to have that support. Literally 2 years of time spent living here in Foxton. My parents, that aging process changed things for them. Their ability to show up and be able to spend time with their mokopuna changed significantly. And then lost my sister. I look back on that today and I think to myself, man, if I didn't listen to that intuitive call to come home that made no sense, this boy would only know me through video calls, really, not through an actual face-to-face relationship, because we lived around the corner from each other. So I didn't really see in my future that I would lose a sibling so young. She was 29.
Wow.
And just really out of the blue, nobody expected it. I had a 2-year-old daughter and a 7-month-old son at the time. 2020, we've just been through lockdowns and COVID, and when you're running a business, so I owned a gym in Wellington, and so gyms got hit quite hard because you had a lot of people travelling from kōrero, the hut, into the city for mahi, and then they go to the gym, but working from home culture happened. So I had a lot of pressure on me already. And then overnight, quite literally, here I am, and now I'm a mum to a 3-year-old boy. I'm teaching him about grief. I'm learning it as well. I've been to, I'm Māori, I've been to many tangi, right? But I've never, ever felt anything like losing a sibling. I remember when you see a sad face, like you draw a sad face and you have the shape. I literally felt that pull in my face.
That's sad because I just pictured it when you said that.
Yeah.
And that
I couldn't stop it. It was tough. But over the last 5 years, it's been a real journey, learning to raise a child that, my sister brought into the world, trying to honour what I think she might want for him, raise my own babies and, navigate that journey of grief. It's certainly a challenge, but I often think one that I was given because I can, because I can handle that.
Yeah, I love how you talk about that drawback to Foxton, because I've felt that myself. I've been out Rotorua and Sydney and moved around and got out and even, live in. It's not far from Foxton, but it's still out of Foxton. And I've definitely felt that draw and that I don't know what it is. It's just like, it is, just the family, that I guess that connection to the family and that.
I always want to touch on that because it's a very, very similar thing to what happened with me and Shania, because I'm from Wellington.
Right.
Same thing. We met, I was living in Wellington, Shania was here. She was recently become a single mum. We've touched on the stories before, so most listeners will know about that. But
You
when
met her
we
on Tinder.
We met on Tinder.
Nice.
Now look where we are. But same thing, we lived in Wellington. We did relocate to the Wairarapa for a little bit. but her grandfather passed away. And then we also found out we had a baby on the way and we wanted a house. And Shania said, I want to be closer to my family because like the stuff's happening and it's making it real for her and she wants them all around. She has such a big family and a loving family, and they've been the most supportive people I've ever been a part of, that it's such an easy family to just come and join in. And we did the same thing. We moved here and now we have, Dilz lives around the corner, so we pop around there for visits all the time, and all the other cousins up in Foxton, and with and like the in-laws for me and that sort of thing. It's good for the kids because we did live down south for a little bit and it was quite hard not having that support network, and also like the kids miss their family and that. So I totally understand the your wanting to be around your family and stuff like that as well. So no, it's hard. And I think the grief side of it as well, for me, like again, I'm the same. I haven't really lost too many people. I lost my godmother to suicide when I was 16, and that was the first time I ever went through it. And it was, and I was one of those young teenagers that kind of went through it alone. In my head, I didn't talk. I was just a teenage boy who kept it in, and it damaged me for years. I think even to this day still damages me. Just like I remember vividly the phone call, and I was one drunk, so then it also attacked me anytime I had alcohol. I started to, it brought it back up, and I started going through it every single time. And it wasn't until probably 3 or 4 months ago that I decided I was going to completely give up drinking. And I think it's the best decision I've ever made in my life, because I think, again, it was all connected as one. So I was using it as an out, but then without knowing it was coming back and haunting me. So I think that's one thing. I think dealing with grief the right way is something that's massive, because I didn't do that. And I think that's the best thing with Gran, is like, even though I'd only known her for a few years, her passing really, really affected me mentally, just because I'm quite an empathetic person. I speak about it a lot. Seeing everybody else hurt, but even being in that moment with the family, almost put a bit of trauma, just seeing how much pain everybody was in with the loss. So I really had to focus on getting through the grief so that I could also be there for you guys. So it was quite, I think, dealing with the grief of it is a massive part also for me.
Totally. One of the things I found really helpful was when someone explained to me grief is just love with nowhere to go. Like that person's not here anymore for you to kind of give that back to them, right?
That's
to
a
being,
that's a good way to put it. There's energy. And,
yeah. And so you still hold all of that love. There's just nowhere to direct it. And I think I had to learn the hard way that when it honestly it feels like it smacks you up the side of your head out of nowhere. Like I remember walking through New World one day and the song playing and just being like, fuck, I'm just trying to do the groceries, like I'm not ready for this. But I have had to learn to surrender to it and let that kind of come up and out of me however it needs to do. Even like I've got a 2-year-old daughter, she is Moana obsessed, and there's this one scene at the end of Moana where her little sister is calling out to her. I got tears in my eyes thinking about it. But she's calling out, like she's so, we watched the Te Reo Māori one at home, and so she's on the beach and her big sister Moana's coming in on a ship, right? And she's calling out, tuakana, tuakana, like so excited to see her big sister who's been off on this adventure for so long. And it just gets me. Yeah. Because I think, man, I wonder if it'll be like that when I, when I see her again one day.
Wow, that's massive.
In regards to grief, you know what Gran was to me. She was, I say she was my person. Like, I was so close to her.
I think unless, like, me being there, like I said, and seeing that, I think I always knew how much of a part of your life she was, but until I saw you in that moment, mate, it destroyed me. Like, I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was like so hard for me to be there in that moment and be strong for everybody because it was hurting me, but then seeing my brother and my wife go through that shit, it was intense, you know, like, and again, you can't really prepare yourself for that, eh? So I just want, for me, I always knew that she was a massive part of your life, but like until I saw that moment, man, like I didn't even know how to be by your side because I just saw how much it affected you. I just want you to know, like,
It's beautiful.
yeah, anytime you want to talk about it, I am here, and I love you, bro. Okay.
I love you too.
Damn, that hit me. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's called healing.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, bro. And it is hard, and it was hard, and it is hard. You know, you said dealing with grief the right way. It's hard because it's hard to put a right way to it. You know, I think I've kind of just dived more into my mahi and that, but it's productive. But at the same time, like, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard because it's good to distract yourself, but it's hard when you have to, like, look at the reality of things. Like when you slow down and, like, you mentioned the song, and so Gran passed away to Bed of Roses, and I just keep it in my head, like, she passed away to that song, and I was holding her hand when she passed, and that song was playing. And so when she went to, she wanted to be cremated. She was OG British, like,
Right,
she's my
okay.
white side. She's not my, Ngāti Raukawa was not from her heritage, and she wanted to be cremated. The like, didn't even want anybody to have any part of anything. She just wanted to be cremated, and she went to the funeral home. The whole night I just couldn't leave her side. I wouldn't. And so I just sat in the seat next to her on the chair and I just had my conversations that I needed to have and thanked her for what I needed to thank her for, and made my peace. I think I tried to, because I knew what was about to come, which was all the grief, and I didn't want to feel like there wasn't anything left I had to say, even though there would forever be things I wish I could say. There will always be things I wish I could have said in conversations that I wish we had. But I said everything I had to, the main and most important things, before she passed away. And I think that's important, is, that goes back to connection and that too. And I think the disconnect out there, like Gran said, like, kids these days don't even know how to play with toys. That's her final words. And this is the person that meant the most to me. So she's definitely changed my life with that. Yeah, I don't know. Grief's a hard one. A fucking month after we lost Graham, we lost my uncle.
Yeah, right.
And I had to go and check on him in his bed when he passed away. And he was an uncle that I caught up with a couple times a week because he lived down the road. So, unfortunately, there's a reality. The reality is there's death. There's two things promised in life: taxes and death. Right? That's what they say.
I think one big thing since Graham passed away I've been doing is trying to tell my loved ones I love them every day. Like, I send my nana voice messages, and sometimes I'll, like, give them just a random call and just be like, hey, I just want to touch base and tell you I love you. Just because I don't get to see my family as much since we moved here. They live in the Wairarapa.
Right.
So I don't get to do that. But even, like, if I get up early to go to work in the morning, I try and send a little voice message so that Naya can hear it when she wakes up, and also, like, show it to the kids so that they can hear. Because sometimes I'll go to work all day, then I'll get home for half an hour, and then we might have to shoot a podcast or something, so I don't get to see them very much. So I try my best to share as much love with everyone as I can, just because, again, you never know when your time is or somebody else's time is, and it's so relevant. And that's, like, since Graham passed away, we've also started moving the kids away from, like, TV.
Our kids haven't even had their tablets, bro. They don't even know where their tablets are anymore.
Ivy's is gone.
Taking them gone. Yeah.
Ivy's is on top of the fridge. They're only allowed to watch movies now, and it's only on their wind down time.
Yeah, we don't do YouTube anymore. There's too much shit on there.
Yeah, do you know, like, the the way that they play now is crazy, like compared to what they
Their
were before.
imagination is amazing to
Yeah.
witness, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
it's just
'cause-
we aren't allowing it because we're giving them something else to do the job for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I always related it back to what it was like for me because I was an only child. So I grew up
Right.
by myself. So I had to have a double imagination because I played by myself. I didn't have someone else to be like mums and dads and doctors and whatever my girls do at
Yeah,
the moment. Aunties, I think they pretend to be Auntie Arohali. I'm
Yeah.
going to work now. It's
cute.
crack up.
So,
But
yeah,
but
it's
like-
with me, Shania and a pillow. Those were my two wrestling. What I was doing
right.
wrestling moves on was
I had
Shania or a pillow.
I had a teddy.
a teddy.
I used a teddy and choke slammed it and stuff.
So every,
And I played rugby.
I think every boy had a pillow, and you did something to that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
John Taylor.
was about to say, be
John
careful
Taylor was
what
doing
you-
something different with his pillow, but we were
about to
wrestling
say-
our ones.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, be careful
Disclaimer.
where you go with that.
Disclaimer: we did not go full pillow.
Yeah, but I think that's the biggest thing that us as parents need to think about is like the future for the kids.
Totally.
Because like I really think it's going to impact them as they get older if they aren't learning how to do that self-regulating play rather than
Yeah.
just watching.
At least
crap.
we still had it, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
so
we
I
still
didn't
had
watch.
it. So we know the best of both worlds, though,
Yeah.
before the internet and the social media, like whatever era we're in now. Too much era.
Because I never really watched too much TV and played on the internet and played games and stuff. Like I was always a sporty kid and I skateboarded and rode bikes and all that stuff. So for me, I never really did it. Even when I got older, like I remember I got my first PlayStation and even then I barely played it. Like it was like, oh, well, I got this, but I'd rather be outside playing and stuff. So I feel like when I noticed that my kids weren't doing that, I was like, I really need to make a change.
Yeah.
Because like I went and bought them like a $1,400 tramp and they barely play on it.
Oh,
And
no.
I play on it more than they do. It's like, man, they need to get out there and play with that tramp or I'm going to sell it.
I've got a different challenge, because with my kids, we don't have iPads or PlayStations. We've never had them with the kids before. But now the ages that they're at, so my oldest is 8 and all his mates have them, right?
Yeah.
So play dates, when he goes to his friend's house, they play the PlayStation or there's an iPad that each kid in the household has. And so I'm in this interesting space of, should I think about it now, bringing one into our whare? But, every parent I talk to is like, don't do it.
No,
Don't do it.
I think they, like your kids will know that this is how our house works. I think that it's okay maybe for them to get that little delve into that world and then come back and they know that in this house this is what we do.
That, I'm saying no to tablets, but the boys, they get Xbox time, but Xbox is if they're good and it's only like between 5 and 6 p.m.
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
So we kind of regulate it and put a schedule to it to not overplay it now. So that's what we've introduced, I guess, as a substitute.
So it doesn't become an addiction.
Yeah, essentially. I think they'll get addicted to anyways because it's fun and it's interacting and stuff. So I think them playing on it, they'll want to play on it more. And that thought of when you do something and you enjoy it. Sorry, I just when you do something and you enjoy it, you want to do it again. That's like a minor addiction because
Dopamine,
it's
isn't
telling
it?
your
Dopamine?
brain.
Yes,
Dopamine.
hit.
Your brain's like, oh my god, I really want to do
But
that.
that's like
And
when you do an
addiction.
ollie and then ollies get boring, so now you want to kickflip and then they get boring and then you're breaking your leg.
Yeah, so I mean, like they're going around and playing. Like your son's going around and playing the PlayStation. So he'll come home and he might be like, "Mom, I want to play the PlayStation." So but then he's not going to. Oh, well, he might be doing it all the time. It depends how much he goes there. But you know what I mean? Like I think naturally he's going to want to do it because it's something new and he hasn't done a lot of it and stuff. But I think it's really at the end of the day, you can either say yes, I want to do it, or no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
But either way, I think you'll make the right decision. I think again, what's the word? Your intrusive thoughts. So whatever feels right is right.
Intuitive thoughts.
Intuitive.
Yeah.
Intrusive.
Intrusive.
No, so wrong
Quite the
thing.
opposite.
Whatever. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
you're
fuck.
good.
I'm going to put that in the rhyme bank.
Intrusive.
You know,
okay,
intrusive,
there we
intuitive.
go.
That's something I do. I pencil that and it's like, that might be a song later.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like whatever feels right in your mind will be the right decision.
Yeah, definitely don't feel a pull to do it now, but absolutely handling those conversations on the daily.
Yeah.
As a young boy, I remember, like, I loved, like, when I got to go to the bro James's house, we got to play on his air hockey table and play the rock band. But then if we
yes.
went to this bro's house, we got to do these camping trips and this. And if we went to that bro's house, yeah, that bro had the PlayStation.
True.
And, you know, so it was quite cool like that as well when you do have your friends groups and you've got the other different thing to look forward
Yes,
to as
yeah,
you
I
go to
hear
their
you.
household and, you know, introduced to their world. And it's funny, you talked about like you didn't really do this, you did sports. I found like some kind of a weird, I wouldn't say, mine was phases. I think I did phases. Like I remember Halo 3 and Modern Warfare 2 being a phase where I'd just non-stop play the Xbox. And then there would be phases where I'd be just non-stop hockey and then like get into rep hockey and then I'm doing trials and, you know, and getting into the sporting world. And then it would go back to gaming and then it'll go back to soccer. And then it was quite good because I did phases. So I kind of got the best of both worlds.
We did because we were always just outdoors. Like we had my bro who I grew up with for years and years, and we basically spent all of our time together from probably 5 till 13. We just did like random creative things. Like we lived by Moulderbank School, and they had like a little hill, and in the rain we'd go over there and make like a mudslide, and like we had bases up the back of out the back of the school. Like we made bases we'd
That
like
is my
steal
kids.
tarpaulins from like, or not steal them, but take them from like his grandparents' house, and we'd go build like forts in the trees,
Yeah.
and then if not, we'd have all the kids because he lived in a grove, we'd have all the kids in the grove come out and we'd play touch rugby and stuff. So that was like my childhood was like that type of things, and
Yeah.
we'd do like go home, stay home, and like that sort of stuff.
True.
Spotlight.
So that was
About
what,
that.
so that's what it was
Spotlight.
like. Well, I wasn't allowed after the lights came on. I had to go home.
But that was the rules back then. That was what everybody adhered to.
Yeah.
Was supposed to.
Yeah, supposed to.
yeah.
You were talking about that. I was thinking, shit, I was going up to schools and shooting fireworks. Like big and naughty, rebellious little shit.
Oh, I'd get in too much trouble, and I didn't like getting in trouble when I was young.
Yeah, I was a bit like that too.
Yeah, I got to an age where I was like, oh, I'm not too bothered anymore, but I don't like getting into trouble, and yeah.
Bro, Manawatu College was it for me. I remember it. Like I was so good and well behaved at Coley
Yeah?
Street, like all through Coley
you went to
Street.
Coley Street too?
Yeah, all
Okay.
my years Coley Street. Oh no, hold on. I started at Foxton Primary. All my years after Foxton Primary was Coley Street, and I felt like I was always doing my best to be the best, you know, and whatever I was doing, sports, education, and learning, and when the computers were just getting introduced, and sitting there doing all the maths and always winning this and that, and it came to the final end of year prize giving. I got nothing. I got nothing, not a single thing. And so I went into college with this fuck school attitude. I was like, fuck school, I ain't doing my best here. And so that's how my college years went.
Wow. Yeah.
So that one event turned it around.
No, it wasn't. It was one event. It was 8 years built up of working my ass
Working
off, I
hard.
thought, and then not getting any recognition.
So-
all the parents' kids got things. All the parents' kids. And so as a kid, that's what I saw. and I was like,
So
fuck
this is what I'm trying to balance to Ivy at the moment. So I heard that the other day they had the last end of year or the end of term. What is it? The meeting or whatever it is. They had a certificate
Assembly.
thing.
Assembly,
Assembly. Yeah,
yes.
assembly. That's the
Got
word.
it.
Sorry. Monday. I'm tired.
That's okay. We're all tired.
The end of term assembly they had, and Amber Lee, her friend, got a certificate,
Yeah.
and she didn't get one, and she cried in the middle of
I
assembly.
feel you, Ivy.
and I
got
tried,
you, Ivy.
and so before, because we had prize giving a couple of weeks beforehand for soccer, and I tried to say, because they said they had 4 awards going out, and there was like 7 girls in the team. So I said, beforehand I said, hey darling, just so you know, you're going there to get awards, but not everybody gets one. Only some people get some. So just so she knew, but then I didn't know that they were all going to get at least a certificate, and then she ended up getting another certificate for like
Yeah, I was thinking, didn't she get something?
Yeah, she got like best sportsmate or something, because she was always like caring about her friends and stuff. So
yeah, that's cool.
so she got 2. So she was stoked with that. But then I said to her afterwards as well, I tried to bring her back down to earth and just said, hey, just so you're aware, darling, you don't always have to get them, because I could see like her starting to look around when it hadn't come to her yet.
Yeah.
And then when Shania came home and told me about her not getting a prize and crying about it, I had to have like a little sit down and just say, darling, not every assembly you're going to get certificates, because
Are you trying to tell me this?
I'm trying to tell you, that
fuck off.
it's not, it's important to want to win, but you also have to understand that you can't win everything.
Yeah,
and
that's
if you,
true.
it's good to be competitive as well, but understand that. Yeah, again,
Are you
can't
giving
be
12-year-old
perfect.
me some life advice?
No, I'm trying to give everybody some life advice. And don't get cut up. Don't hate yourself and change your life because you don't get that goal straight away. Just keep working and try again.
I feel like I turned out all right, though.
Was that silent?
Where's the back? Don't edit cricket. Don't put no crickets.
Edit those crickets in there. Yo, that was
I
good.
did turn out all good.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! You talk about Save Our River.
Yes.
Which
I
is
love
very
that.
important.
That to me is absolutely incredibly beyond important and crucial. I am a massive advocate for the Manawatu River. In my world, I'm not out there doing what you're doing. Thank you for what you do. You're an advocate. But out there, like, you know, my history and memories and that on that river. Yeah, I'm going to be able to tie this back. So that river, literally, so as a young kid, my Uncle Shane, I used to spend every Sunday with him, and he's somebody else we lost. We lost him he went missing, went kayaking down in the Wellington Harbour. And that was like back when I was 2008. So he was the first person I lost that was like someone close to me. I went to his house every Sunday. And he was the one, because he pretty much was like out there trying to teach me fishing and, you know, going to the creeks and flipping rocks to find, you know, bugs and doing this and, you know, being adventurous. He was always out there doing that with me. And that river holds all my memories with him.
Right.
The boardwalk, all my memories with him, the boat ramp, he caught a perch down there on my lure, and I'm like remembering these from when I was like 5. But, you know, powerful memories of fishing. And then as I grew up through my school years and that, it was with the bros, we're going out there and eeling and, you know, love connecting with the river.
Yeah.
And then even like to this day, I take my boys out to the river and now eel with them. I said that to Arohali yesterday. I was like, fuck, if only like it wasn't so windy and cold, like we could school holidays, get them down there for an eel. That's what I was just talking about yesterday. And it's like my grand's house was on Harbour Street.
True.
Is on Harbour Street. So she overlooks the river.
Yes.
And it's crazy, like the view of out her house from when I was a little kid, from when we were just, you know, young here in Foxton, to what you can look out there now.
Yes.
But the river itself isn't changing. The river's still pakaru and paru. It's still brown and nobody wants any part of it. You know,
I wouldn't say nobody.
We did. We went in an inflatable kayak down
I've done that with,
for ages too.
I go on kayak missions up it, you know, me and the old man, we got a boat, so if you can't get out over the bar or whatever, or taking granddad out for a drive, we just go up the river loop and come around and adventure, and you know, I love utilising it. But I'm thinking, like, from a outside of Foxton perspective, nobody's going to come here and look at our river and go swimming in it. You know, it's not that. It's, I think, like the third most polluted river in the southern hemisphere.
It's not
or
a
something.
safe waterway to swim in.
Nah.
By any means. No.
So can we talk on that? Like, I wish it was usable. Like, obviously, like, oh my God, imagine if that river was clean. Imagine Foxton.
So
Imagine
close. I'd love to go swimming in it.
100%. Like, we have to drive all the way over to Levin and go out the back of Levin, which is even more petrol, and then go for a swim out there, because our own river in our own backyard is unusable, as you put it. So can we talk on the river? What's the state of it? What's the plans with it? What's your connection to it? And just a summary of that space.
Of course. So I think the first thing is my connection to the Awas by Whakapapa Manawatu River is one of my rivers, and our loop is an extension of the Manawatu River. I call it by its Māori name, Piri Harakeke, the river that the flax clings to.
I was thinking flax.
Yeah.
When you said Harakeke.
So Piri Harakeke. Back in the day, if you looked at historical photos of the loop, you would just see harakeke as far as the eye can see. It was a huge part of our commercial industry here in Te Awaho. And if you looked at those historical photos, what you would see is a river that was 100 metres wide in some areas. We had big ships come in. You'll probably know what I mean when I say the red shed down on Harbour Street. So that's the last standing building of the port that was here in Te Awaho. Like, this was a massive place for...
The bowling club, is that what it is now?
It has been used for that,
club.
yes. But originally, like, along there was the port for all the ships that came in, brought in a lot of different products, but also shipped out a lot of the harakeke that we stripped here in Foxton to use for things like carpet and things like that. But what actually happened back in the day was we've always had a problem of flooding in Foxton, right? And so when Foxton flooded, particularly around the loop, it would get out onto the land, it would impact people's homes, businesses, crops, and it would put a real dent into our economy here locally. So the government at the time was thinking about, how do we manage this? What they wanted to do was cut a weir, and I try and explain a weir as like they've dug the earth so that there's a drop for the water to naturally come down into. So the intent, just to make it nice and simple, was when the water was rushing down and at full capacity of the Manawatu River, it would come around the loop, but they wanted it to drop down this weir and head out to sea faster. And while they were in the middle of those earthworks, Foxton flooded. Now, this awa is a powerful force, right? So it carved a new path and went straight down where they were digging that weir and bypassed the loop. That is why we don't have flow in there.
Oh.
And so this happened 80 plus years ago. And over time, what you have is sediment is building up. You've got invasive weeds are growing suddenly. The kaimoana that existed in there, that our tipuna would talk about the surface of that water being silver because of the level of fish that was in there.
Nan used to talk about going up with a rowboat and you'd be able to just net fish.
Yes, yeah.
Wow,
So
that's crazy.
It's not like that anymore. The mauri of the awa has been deeply impacted. So Save Our River Trust has been around for 22 years now. And honestly, it's a bunch of locals. A couple of my uncles are a part of that crew that got it off the ground. And there's been a whole lot of things that have been done in that time, from like planting, building the Pirihara Keke walkway, lobbying government to take responsibility for the decisions that were made that have impacted it.
Because someone fucked up. Like
There was.
you kind of made it sound nice.
Yeah.
But someone fucked up and made a stupid
I'm a
decision.
little more diplomatic, all right?
So this is probably why I can't get into council. I was thinking, should we go in the next elections and see if we get some votes?
I don't think I could talk in front of that many people.
I would, but I'll talk my way, and I don't know if that works.
Yeah.
I think anybody can run for council, and I don't think you should be limited by who you are or the way that you show up in the world. Like, I think about, there was a guy, Paletti was his name, and he was a councillor in Flaxmere, I think, and he used to roll up socks in his jandals, right? Big afro, just himself, because why should you have to box yourself into a stereotypical traditional style councillor that you will see absolutely mirrored if you look on the wall of all the historical photos? Why is it got to be like that?
And most people won't want that either, because they're not really being real to themselves. So they're not going to be real to anybody else. They're just going to be what you think.
Yes.
What they think you want them to be.
Yeah, yeah.
The good
So I
thing about this
challenge you at
podcast,
kōrero.
this podcast allows, like, you know, if the political, I guess, mask to fall a little bit, you don't have to be so political. Like, because I'm speaking because we've had a few political figures in a row. Like, there's the Foxton politics are, you know, happening at the moment. There's votes and stuff like that. So if you're out there and you're a part of our community, go have your say and get your vote in and check out our podcast for the people that we're talking to. You know, these are people that have come here and willing to drop that political mask and talk to you guys as people. So make that connection. And so I think that's quite important, as, you know, it's quite cool that we've been able to bring people like yourself from that world into our space and have conversations that kind of put that to the side and just be real. I think that's real important.
You see the human behind people. But like, also, that is just a very small part of my world. Like, I'm still a mum. I'm still a member of this community. I still show up with my water blaster to the marae when it's time to do a working bee. Like, I'm not I don't think you should look at councillors and see a disconnect between yourself and them, because these are the people that the community's elected to say, hey, can you represent us at that table? That's what it's about. The trouble is, and this is my first time standing for anything political before, you have to boil yourself down to a 90-second speech or a 150-word caption, and you could never capture the full view of a human with that little focus. And so that's why with you guys, you're putting out podcast episodes of 2.5 hours, and you're only probably just scratching the surface of these people. But it humanizes and it helps others to see, actually, Now, you do have some values that resonate with me, and so I feel a bit better about you being someone who's at that table representing who I am and what I stand for.
So I should put myself in politics.
I think if that's what you want to get from that, then
How would I get on the Save Our River Trust?
You show up the last Sunday of every month. We have our hui, 10 o'clock at Te Awaho Newsroom upstairs. That's when we have our committee meeting, so that's one way. Another way is we do heaps of working bees. So we've got one coming up on the 10th of October. We're going to be planting a couple of hundred natives along the awa. You might remember where there were some pine trees down by our transfer station that were cut down.
Yeah, and now it looks hideous.
And so we're planting all the natives to replace that. We've got a whole lot of rangatahi coming down to support us. There's about 4 schools coming to join. It's a great way to get involved, and it doesn't have to be that long. Like just putting your hands to soil and getting some of those rako in the ground is a beautiful way to contribute.
And connect.
Yes.
10th of October.
Yeah.
At what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yep. So if you head down by the transfer station, you'll see, if you veer to the right, the entrance to the Piriharakeke walkway.
Yep.
You'll see us. You'll see the signs. We'll be down there planting.
Foxton community,
That's cool,
make
yeah.
sure you show up. That's
Everybody.
replacing all of the missed forestry out by the transfer station,
Yep.
The Foxton dump, and it's all bare and naked at the moment. It looks ugly. So if you're part of our community and you want to lend a hand and connect, get down there, help the team on the 10th of October at 10 a.m.
10
I want
a.m.
to come plant some
Yeah,
trees.
come
Hey?
down.
Yeah, that might
It'd be cool to be able to like tell the kids, I helped plant that tree.
Yeah.
And we know when they get older.
But even
That's
bringing
what
the
I'm
kids,
thinking.
like my baby has been planting trees since she could walk
That's cute.
down there.
That's
But we bring
awesome.
the kids to be a part. And if I just spend the day like rolling around in the dirt, well, kei te pai, but they're actually alongside their awa, they're contributing, they're around an environment that shows them the importance of
Creating
kaitiakitanga.
memories.
Yep, and core memories. But just quickly to touch on what Save Our River Trust is up to now, we've been investing a lot into the science to understand what is the most feasible way to bring flow back to Piriharakeke, because it's not as straightforward as just reconnecting it to the Manawatu River. There's a lot of complexity that comes with that, and you need people who really know their stuff to actually do the testing to help us to understand what the best ways are. So we're not too far off receiving a report that will help us to understand 2 or 3 potential ways that we can get flow back to the awa.
Did you know
That's
there's rainbow
awesome.
trout in there?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I caught a couple throughout.
Oh, you have caught some.
I've fished in there a lot.
How long ago?
So I remember catching a couple, probably like early college days,
Okay, a while back.
and then about probably 2 years ago, I was on my lunch break working from home, and I'd got a new rod when we went to Masterton, and I said to my wife, I was like, "Fuck, I want to maybe just go fish for my lunch break since I'm working from home." So I went down there on my lunch break and casted and caught a rainbow trout.
in the River Loop.
Yeah,
It's good
at the
to
boat
hear
ramp.
that. Yeah, okay. So we just had some testing done to see what sort of DNA we could pick up from the waterway, and trout came up, and that was quite surprising for some people to see. So now I've got a real life story to back it up.
Yeah, so that day I caught one. I took a photo, like I've got evidence.
Yeah, I remember.
And I sent it to you. I'm middle of my work day. Here's a fish. But then wifey, I gave her a turn, and she casted it, and she hooked up to one too, and it jumped out of the water and then came off the hook. I was like, shit, I haven't seen these down here for like fucking 10 years. So I mean, that might be a good sign. That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's making its way better in the ecosystem or pollution.
I think there's still a little way to go, or a while to go, but it's a good sign when you're getting results back to tell you that there's actually quite a number of different species in there, because you could look at it and assume that there's nothing or there's very little in there. But no, yeah, so trout was definitely one that popped up.
Yeah, eels galore.
Yes.
There's just never-ending supply in there. of
Yeah.
We've
eels.
caught lots of eels.
A
down
lot.
there.
I used to just go down there with like the fish fingers left over from dinner and just literally put a plastic bag on a stone and tie it up and put it to the fishing line, and then put a fish finger and just go eeling.
And catch some eels.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And I used to sell them to Russell Packer's dad.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Foxton's small, hey.
Boxing is small.
I remember a lot of the guys wagging college back in the day to go eeling, and so many times they'd chase the girls around the freaking courts by the bus stop with
Of
the
course.
eels. Yeah,
You got to do something with them.
You got that look like,
Yeah, you got to put your
Yeah, I did that.
put it in someone's car.
Oh god.
But yeah, no, Ealing and all the childhood memories and stuff like that, that river is actually quite important to me. So I love that there's people out there like you that are advocating, you're doing that for it and doing and dedicating time to it and working towards solution for it.
Totally.
What would you say the time frames look like for what we're looking at and what's happening next for the river? And
Yeah.
because I'm also remember like it has changed a lot. The areas like I talked about out front of Grands.
Yes.
I remember there used to be like a forestry area actually to the left, and like where the New Stream
Yes.
library is. That was like a creek. My uncle used to take me to that creek, and it was in some like woods. Like the whole landscaping of it has actually changed. And I know we did a lot of replanting of the flax up the river. That was another big mission. But yeah, what kind of else is happening on the horizon?
So all of those things, the development on the riverfront, Te Awaho New Stream, are all things that Save Our River Trust has been a part of, establishing a real key and influential voice in those spaces. At the moment, we're working on hopefully getting some investment into further development on the riverfront, and that takes time to work through those processes and get the kind of support that you need. Where you see the playgrounds, the sort was behind the $3.8 million that was invested into that part of the development. We're now looking at the next section, which runs straight down to the transfer station and what development looks like there. So that's a focus for us at the moment, getting the science so that we know how to feasibly bring the flow back to the hour. From there, there's a bit of a political game that needs to be played, right? Because you can't just turn on a tap and get some flow back in the waterway. Like, no matter what we do, it will have impacts on people.
You got to think how much is going to come to it, because obviously that was the first worry, was how much
Flooding
pressure would come through. So you got to think, if we do this, do we have the insurance to cover if something goes wrong as well? Because that's something.
You could very well end up in a high court navigating the political field that will be required to lead this kaupapa through to get flow back. Like, it's not an overnight thing. Science is great. That gives us clarity in the what next, but then we're going to have to regroup and then start to think about, okay, so what are those next steps going to be to enable us to get there? Because it could be a multitude of ways that we bring the flow back. So it means for me, it's a complex task to lead. I'm one of the youngest people at that table right now. I don't have an experience of being on the river. I don't have fishing or swimming memories. So I was the first girl born, right? I've got 5 older brothers. They went out and did that. It wasn't me. So with that, I sit at a table with people who grew up swimming in it and know this thing intimately in a way that I could never. And I've got to try and figure out, how do I connect a generation back to this awa that doesn't have the memories, honour those that do have the experience and the memories, and then think about how to lead this rōpū through a lot of complex and what will sometimes be emotional decision making. Like, it's not easy, the conversations we have to get us to a point where we can get the right people to approve getting that flow back in there. So it's not going to be easy. But for me, like, I live on the awa now. I live on Ladies Mile. I see it every day, and I look at my babies and I think, for me, this is about a contribution to my mokopuna, right? I got to think 50 years from now, if I was focusing on what I can achieve today, I would just be stuck. I wouldn't feel successful. I think a bit longer than that, generational in my thinking, and what I want is for them to be able to have an experience that I've never had. And it might be limited, but that's okay, because at the moment, the limit is far more significant than what it could be.
That's very similar to like my thoughts in regards to like with careers and how hard I work as well. I think I use that when I think how much work we put in and how busy I am. I think I'm just trying to do it so that my kids start off further than where I started. So it's a little bit easier for them. I don't want them to have it easy. I want them to know that they have to work for things, but I want to put as much of my time into life to give them the things that I would have liked to have. Not saying I didn't have a lot, but I think that's a lot of my thoughts, is I think a lot about the future. And again, the same thing with the giving back to our kids and that sort of thing. I think that's the biggest thing, is they are our future. You know, one day we're going to be too old to be able to do all those things, and we hope that we raise our kids right, that they take care of us and take care of our community and stuff like that, like we've been doing. So I think that's, very important. So
Totally.
definitely.
How many people are on that board?
In Save Our River
River.
Trust. Oh, there's quite a number of people that sit there, but not you don't get everyone show up every month. It's a voluntary thing. I think we probably average about 20 that come to the table. For the working bees, though, like we can pull
People
some
show
big
up.
numbers for that. Yeah. Could be 51 week. And I know this one coming up on October the 10th. Provided all the schools show up, we'll have well over 100 there planting. Like we've got to find extra work for people to do to make the most of the time together. So we'll probably be doing a bit of weeding and cleaning up while we're there as well.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
awesome.
Do you have like media come down and stuff like that?
Yeah, so work a bit with our local papers. And then one of the things that I did, because when I came to sort, like I couldn't find anything about it. It didn't have a digital presence, and a lot of the narrative out there in the media was really negative. And I think it's important, like it's hard to inspire people to have hope or to be motivated to invest in something if you speak with deficit language. And so people would often write these stories about the river being choked up and it being stuck. And I'm like, nah, like we can flip this and actually change the narrative to one that invites people to participate. So when I came to sort, it'll be 3 years ago now, I helped them build the website, set up its own internal media space to tell its own stories, so that when you search Save Our River Trust, you can actually see the work that's been done, but you could also see the hope and possibility that comes in doing it as well, because I don't think it's healthy or helpful for us to be stuck in a narrative that actually came about 80 plus years ago, when there are people out there literally putting their hands to work and making a difference. And maybe it's not always visually obvious. Of course, things like the upgrades with the playground and that are, but you might not notice 100 baby native trees being planted there.
I love that they are being planted
But
there.
that's real work.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you don't hear about it, you're going to think, oh, this thing's been around for 20 odd years. What's it done? It's done a lot. And that was something I really wanted to shift and change when I came in and first joined as a volunteer.
Yeah.
You're honestly making me want to go in and try have a conversation with you lot. So I don't know.
I'm going to.
Maybe you'll see me down there.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not
going
talking
to.
about the forestry. I'm talking about the actual sort. Like come
No,
up to one
I'm
of those
going
meetings.
to. Yeah, that's what I was just not going to go and talk about it.
Yeah, we'd welcome you.
But yeah, I'm keen.
Yeah.
I'm keen to come and have a
Well,
look.
there
Yeah.
you go. You might have the Making a Statement podcast crew turn up. We might bring the
Yeah.
cameras and turn it into
Well, that's why I asked if you have media, because I was going to say I can bring the camera down and we can get some footage and stuff for you if
I
you
think
need
there's
it.
always events though that like that kind of stuff can be helpful for. Like I remember, it might be a year ago now, we ran like a big Easter egg hunt
That was
at
cool.
the Loop. Did you come
Yeah,
along
yeah,
to
yeah,
that?
I took pictures of
Oh,
that.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So one of the things that you got to understand is like it's very hard to get investment into something like opening a river loop if no one's down there using it. So we were like, let's work with some locals, create an Easter egg hunt that brings lots of our young people down to have a positive experience in and around it. So we had a little bit of media coverage through MavTech using like vintage cameras and things like that. It was awesome, but we probably could have done with a little bit more than that.
Just reach out to Dilz.
All right.
That's what you got to do. Reach
we
out
got
to Dilz.
cameras, we got
Yeah, I see
gimbals,
that.
I'm
we got
actually
everything.
so glad. One, we've put a lot of investment into what we've tried to accomplish here to really step everything up
Yeah.
and take things seriously. But like I've only just this year been asked to be a part of the Spring Fling. Like there's a disconnect too. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the local community has kind of ignored the platform I've been trying to build for so long. Like I haven't been invited to nothing. You know, nobody's reached out to me to help sponsor, advertise this, or nothing. So
Maybe they don't realise, but I do think as well, there's still a long way to go for people to understand the power of things like media here in our community.
Yeah.
It's something I find myself talking to a lot of businesses about, and it might just be like that knowledge gap.
yeah, it is, and it's a generation gap too,
Yes.
and that's something we talked about with Justin. We're missing
Right.
from the seats. Our generation are missing because there's a disinterest, a disconnect, and a stigma
Yeah.
around voting. And we're gonna have to vote One, we can't
yeah,
bring
You haven't
everybody,
voted
but
yet?
No.
we're waiting till
No.
we've talked to everybody
Yeah,
because
fair
we've still
call.
got other guests coming too.
Yeah.
And I'm very much enjoying the conversations that we're having with everybody. And we do peel the curtains back and make sure we're talking to a real human
Yeah, cool.
and getting real thoughts and opinions and
Yeah.
letting the people see who they might be voting for and giving them an opportunity to make an informed decision.
Totally.
And that's a part of breaking the stigma because, you know,
Totally.
I'm going to shout out the bro for this because he actually, another one that reached out and said, fucking, what if I can come on and be a podcast guest? Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me in recent times. And like our schedule for this year is actually filling up. That's
That's
crazy.
That's good,
But
though.
that's cool. But yeah, he's a previous Nomad member. And we put out the episode with Justin and he chucked up there for the pizza giveaway.
Ah, yes.
I voted and I was like, the bro, that's cool. That's awesome.
Man.
Like, I'm proud of him for being able to jump on the comment and say, you know, fucking hard, I'm out there doing this and voting.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a stigma around it. People don't really pay attention
Totally.
and care about it.
I think one of the other things that I recognize is often when it comes to things like voting, elections, and so on, there's such like corporate clunky language used to explain it. Like, why can't we just simplify it in simple terms that everyday people can understand? It's been really interesting for me this year. I've been doing a bit of like video stories and explaining what to do if you don't get your voting papers and that. I had my auntie show up the other day. She'd be early 60s now, and she was like, "Oh, where do I do my special vote? I've been watching your videos." She had no idea.
Good. Awesome that you're there doing it.
I
What
don't
to
know.
do?
I didn't get any papers.
Okay.
Shania got hers from somebody else. I think they might have shown up.
How does he vote, Irene?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
So
I was going to figure it out on Google.
Let me just explain a couple of things. So this is a local body election, which is different to our general elections when we're voting for the parties and obviously from there our Prime Minister would be named. So with a general election, that's when you'd show up to like a local school hall and you'd vote in a booth. You might have seen or done that before. Local body elections is done by post. And so I think what happens a lot for our generation is you get mail and you don't open it, or you might intend to and it just sits on the fridge or the bench. Or I know a lot of people out there delivering pamphlets at the moment, they're still seeing people's voting papers like wet in the letterbox. They're not being collected.
I think mine are in the letterbox. Legit, I actually think. But in saying that, there's a disconnect as well. Like, that's not how you get to 18-year-olds in this current
Yes.
market. You don't give them something in the post.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You got to develop with the time. It's not what we should be doing.
I hear you.
It needs to be a different process.
Yes. So if you get voting papers, it's literally like tick your boxes. You get a free return envelope. You can post it back, or there's big orange wheelie bins. We've got them here at our New World and Te Awaho Newsroom. You can drop it in there and you're done. If you don't get them, you need to cast what's called a special vote. So there are specific spaces set up for that where you'd have to go in and sign a declaration. They'll give you your voting papers. You're done. We are a little bit limited in Foxton.
It's an effort. Nobody's going to go. That's why people are missing
gonna
from the
do
process. I know, but you're going to do it because you're now intrigued. But nobody else on the Facebook that is stuck there doom scrolling for 2 hours of their day is going to feel like going here, doing that, and then signing
It's
this to make
a
that
fair
happen.
few steps. And I think we are a little bit more challenged in Foxton because in Levin, they have a special voting booth in the council offices Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But Foxton, we only have one slot a week. So tomorrow from 9 till 12, if you go to Te Awaho Newsroom upstairs, you can cast a special vote there. But it's
That's
a bit
when I'm at
tricky if you're
work.
working.
Yeah, I work
I'm at
too.
work.
Yeah.
So where's the
Yeah.
easy process? It needs to be
Or how do you do it? Is there any way to do it outside of work
an
hours?
application, an app, an email, a survey.
It would be amazing. And it makes a whole lot of sense, right? But it's
that's-
not an option right
Yeah,
now.
it's the hardest part, is we're trying to put out there for people to do the votes, but then we can't vote because we don't have
There's
the
that
vote paper.
limitation.
And
So
we work.
if you're like a 9 to 5 worker, there's 2 slots coming up on Saturdays in the Levin Council buildings, and that would be the best option. I guess for those of us who've got kids,
so much effort.
it's across the road from the adventure park, so you could make a day of it. But yeah, it's tricky. And so when I'm out there and I'm talking, I've got to try and frame it in a way that makes it easy for people to do.
We're gonna have to go and vote though. Like, we're gonna have.
Oh,
to.
definitely. And
After
do you know
all this
what?
effort,
No,
yeah.
but do you know what? Like, before we had Justin on first, like, I always knew, like, I probably should pay more attention to it because it's part of the community and this is where I live and this is where my kids are, so I should care more. But again, it was that doom scrolling phase where I was like, I can't really be bothered reading too much into it. And since we've had the last 2 guests and now yourself on, I've started to definitely become more intrigued and like want to know more about it, because I actually know now, like with Alan here saying, that app that you can go
Antenno.
on Antenno. So you
Antenno,
can
double
go on,
N.
yeah, so you got something wrong or something's not going how you want it to, or you notice something that's dangerous in the community that you want fixed, you can go and put that on there and it's more than likely going to get sorted. Whereas beforehand, I would have just gone, it's probably not going to get fixed. If I want to do something, I probably should just go do it myself or something like that, you know? So it's kind of helpful to see the impacts that can be sorted from actually giving your input.
Totally. I think this is the value of what you guys are doing as well, right? So I don't know if many podcast hosts that are inviting political candidates in to really talk to them and unpack, you know, who they are as human beings. You don't have to do this, but you also have like an amazing community out there. And there will be people within that community who don't know or are unsure. And so what I see the value in is connecting this messaging with people who might be disconnected from voting, breaking the stigma, as you say.
And connection. That's another thing.
And connection and inviting people in to participate, because actually at the end of the day, you know, we could all get pissed off about things that are being done or aren't being done locally, but this is the part that we can do to make sure we're actually electing the ultimate team that represents us when it comes to speaking for what it is that we need locally. And I think we're really lucky in Foxton. We are the only town in the Horowhenua that has a community board, the only one. It gives us an extra layer of like voice and power and influence. And so you want strong people who know our town, that are strong communicators, that are able to actually speak for us and make sure when the decisions are made by councillors that they actually hear us and they know what it is that makes us unique compared to other areas within the Horowhenua. That's why I've stood for the community board. It's sort of like something I can do that also fits really well with my life stage, with my babies being so young as well.
I can tell that you want to make a difference and you are community driven. All that's very important. I think people like you for doing what you do. Political, it's like I'm happy to talk to anybody from all backgrounds of life, really. That's part of breaking the stigma, you know.
It's interesting as well, because again, we do delve into our personal interests, but then I didn't know that I was that interested in this stuff until I actually got to talk about it. So it's quite nice to, you know, we have had on our friends and we've had on G-Dad and then we had on John, the porn addict, and then we've had well, you know, like we've had so many different people on, and I'm actually learning from every single conversation, and it's quite good. Like I said, I've been stepping into having more meaningful conversations. So for me, it's nice to have these conversations with political people and friends, and they're meaningful. So for me, it's quite nice. It's like I said to you before the podcast, it's nice to actually just come in here and it feels like relaxing. To just come in here and actually just break down, you know, and have a good conversation. So that's good. Thank you for coming on.
I'd like to welcome you on as our first Wahine, our first lady guest. And just before we get into that, you said you did the website for Sort.
Yeah.
Did you do your own website as well?
Yes.
Cool. I did my own website as well, makingestatement.co.nz. Go check it out and get your merch. The plug. But I did that too. And it's a mission, Like, it's a lot of time and effort goes into that. And I went over your website and I was very impressed with it. It's very modernized and great imagery. And I seen that you're a photographer as well. So I mean, you've got some side things going on as well. I really like that.
Lots
you
of
do
skill.
ceremonies.
Yes.
It was quite a big little repertoire.
Yes.
And
I'd love to do that.
Wedding ceremonies.
Yeah.
One of the deeper layers to you is we labelled it as violence prevention.
Yes.
And you had funded a charity. So we will get into some rapid fire questions shortly, but I just wanted you to kind of talk on that. And I think that's quite a big, powerful piece of your story.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I founded a charity back in 2015, and honestly, what had happened was I grew real quick in the corporate world. I was climbing a corporate ladder. I wanted to become a leader. I wanted to earn good money, do all the things. And I got to a point one day where I was like, actually, I am being paid to train people to sell home loans and life insurance. Like, that's actually what I'm being paid to do, and it's not aligning for me. So I was in my early 20s, and I thought, if I'm going to take a gamble, now's the time to do it. So I had always known in my heart that I wanted to teach young women about the early signs of violence in a relationship, so that emotional abuse. I kind of learned it too late, right? So I had my own experience as a teenager. I spent 4 years in a relationship. I knew I was pretty unhappy. I knew that it wasn't safe for me to talk about things, but my measure of what a harmful relationship was I getting hit or not? Right?
Because it's not as black and white as that.
Yeah. But I didn't know that at that time. And a lot of the behaviors that I was accepting was pretty normal in my social circles as well. Like I hadn't seen anybody call it out as not being okay. So I actually ended up ending this relationship because things did turn physical, and that was my line for me. That was like, nah, this, like, I looked at it black and white. I got to get out, and I did. I was really fortunate to do that successfully. But about a year later, I was doom scrolling on social media, Facebook, and this article came up, and it said 10 signs that you're experiencing emotional abuse. And I was waiting at the airport. I was about to go on my first ever overseas holiday solo trip, like a gift to myself for making that.
That's
big,
adventurous.
yeah,
And ballsy.
Yeah, it was just like something I wanted to do. I was really proud. I'd got out and I'd really done well in my career. But I was at the airport reading this article, and it was kind of like tick, 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 like everything resonated with me. And that was when I woke up, and I thought, holy moly, like, that wasn't abusive because of that one physical act. There was a lot in there that wasn't okay.
And so many other people will probably think the same way as you.
Exactly. So I get on a plane then, and I go and spend 10 days in Rarotonga by myself. I don't know anyone, and I'm confronted with this information, and there was something in me there that made me think I need to do something with this information. And so when I had that point, when I was in the banking industry, I made a commitment. I quit. I didn't know where my money was coming from or anything like that, and I could afford to do that and have kids or a mortgage or anything in those days. I gave myself 12 months just to go hard and see what can I do with sharing this information. I was pretty naive. This was early Instagram days. I started an Instagram account. I started to share a bit about these signs. I shared a bit about my story, and people came and they started sharing their stories with me, or I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know what gaslighting was. I didn't know what love bombing was. I thought that that kind of jealousy was cute. I didn't realize that actually it can be quite harmful if it, So then I built my own website, and I started to share the stories of others, and this thing just started to grow legs, right? And so women were coming from mostly New Zealand and Australia, coming forward and resonating, sharing the content. Influencer culture was in its early phases then, and so I started to get people who had some really good followings also coming out and sharing their stories, and this thing just started to blow up. I, in that year, committed to learning the world of social entrepreneurship, so like running charitable mahi, but finding a way to bring, putia into the door as well. And I got a lot of wahine who had experiences volunteering, so I had people from like those who worked in PR to celebrities, like really invested in trying to help this kaupapa grow. I built a program. I took it into schools, universities, and businesses, and taught not only young women but also managers like what to do if your staff member's disclosing this and how to hold space safely. Or another one that was really powerful was going into hairdressing salons, because when you go to your hairdresser every 6 weeks, I don't know, like
barbershop talk. We do it every 2 weeks.
Right? We're there for a few hours though.
Yeah, true.
And so there comes a point where small talk doesn't cut it anymore, and suddenly you're starting to talk more about life, and you build a really good relationship. And so I had hairdressers saying, I don't feel equipped to actually counsel this person. I feel like I need a ticket or some sort of like an endorsement to say it's safe for me. But I would go in and teach people how to hold all of that space. Anyway, it started to get a lot of attention and grow more, and it took me through a whole lot of really cool opportunities, from going to Government House and meeting the royals, because New Zealand has one of the most alarming rates of family violence in the first world, right? So it's an area that needs attention, and there's so many layers and facets to it, but this was just the one that I was focused on. I ended up being brought into government to work on our public level strategies, particularly around engaging youth, because it was an area that they struggled with. And
a crucial area.
Huge. And that's where the conversations, and why I endorse the kōrero you had with John about porn, is because that is a part of the biggest sphere that needs to be discussed, that needs to be able to safely be explored, so people can kind of unpick where there might be habits or behaviours or tolerances that can be harmful for relationships. So I feel like I've given you a big word mash of all the things that I've done.
No, it's good.
That's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a snapshot for
You went and met the royals though too. How's
Yes.
that?
So that's massive.
Yeah, what's that? Like, who was it? The Queen?
No, not the Queen. So I met Megan and and Harry when they came over. I shouldn't call them by their first names, but and so they did their royal tour not long after their marriage, and so part of that was going to a whole lot of different events, definitely meeting the Governor-General. And so when they came for their first visit to the Governor-General's house, I got to go along there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty special. I didn't get any photos. You're not allowed to take cameras in when you're meeting the royals, but you get sent like a proper invitation with the gold markings and everything on it.
That's cool.
Did they scout you to invite you, or did somebody recommend you to be invited? Or
I did a lot of work and advocacy work with the Ministry for Culture and Heritage, Ministry for Women. They were all spaces that kind of touched my work. And so I think when you're in those areas, your name is on radars, right? And obviously they'd want to bring young people into the sphere as well. And so I just happened to be one of them.
That's awesome. And you've done a TED Talk?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
TED Talk, so I was shoulder tapped to come along to that. I was living in Wellington at the time when the charity was running, and they just look for diverse stories, right? And my one was different to anything else that was being put forward. You're either shoulder tapped or you apply, and then you go through a bit of an interview process. So it's pretty cool. You're matched with a speaker coach. So I had this amazing woman, and her role, her background was in media and PR, but her business was largely based out of the UK, where she trained CEOs to get their point across really quickly and engage their staff and their company really well. And so she was the person who worked with me to refine my speech. Pretty powerful experience, because I would say that was like one of the peak points of operating that charity. And there's something to be said about, I'll say it like this, when I stood on the stage, and I'd told my story a number of times already, and it was in the St. James Theatre in Wellington, and you can't see your audience is black. You probably had that experience as a musician. So you can't see anything, no facial expressions. And I, as a speaker, look for that to help guide intuitively where to go next or how to frame things.
Feel the room.
I had nothing. But I remember this point, I had my hands out to the side, and I was like feeling or holding the energy of a room. And I also felt this weight behind me. Like it really, the thing I could liken it to, without sounding too woo-woo, was like walking out with my tipuna behind me. Like it was a real healing moment, not only for me, but I know many wahine in my bloodline that have had similar experiences to me. And so I remember speaking and getting to the end point, and they just turned the lights on enough that I could just see this entire auditorium on their feet. It was just like the the level of healing that came with that was just like, whoa, I really felt like I'd done something
That's cool.
on
It's
a
impactful.
on like a spiritual level, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's cool. I think it's awesome that you used something that could be classed as a negative in your life to bring positive to your future of yours, but also to other people and try and give them hope as
And
well.
awareness.
Which is massive
Yes.
because, like I picked out when you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, well, a lot of other people probably thought the exact same way. I don't notice that as a negative. I think that's just,
Normalised.
they went through this or they went through that, or
Yeah.
making excuses for behavior that's not okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that's awesome that you picked up on that and then built something so important. So,
Yes.
that's awesome.
And something that was really important to me, and it still is in everything that I do, was like when I did that mahi, it wasn't about my story. It was about shining the light on the stuff that we don't talk about. And so I was very deliberate. Like I never talked about the person from my past. That's not my story to talk about. That's his story. So whenever it was storytelling, I would share my experience only, but I always wanted to hold it in a mana enhancing way because I really believe in always leaving a little bit of grace and space for people to change and do better. And I think I could have taken a completely different path and absolutely cancelled somebody, but that's just not me. It's not my heart. And I think if you leave room for a bit of grey, that's where transformation can happen. And it's a really important part in how I go about any of my mahi. And I've seen that a lot, especially working in the government spaces where there were men who were reformed users of violence leading beautiful, beautiful change in other men. If they didn't have that grace given to them to reflect and go through that healing process, they might never have been able to evolve and become the leaders that they now are in their communities. So yeah, I try to operate anything I do with that in mind, as I think it's an important part of having a human experience, right?
That's awesome. I like that. And like Ethan said, you did it in a way that was creating positivity out of something negative.
Yes.
And what you're saying is kind of in that same sense. There was a negativity, but you're trying to see
You're shining light more on
shine on the
the
positive.
Yes.
And the people that you're talking about, that the men with their stories. I remember in the school when the guy had love tattooed across his knuckles, and he told a story about that's what I thought love was. Is if you beat on and hit on.
Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've
so
worked with him.
I've always remembered that from a kid, because I was like, just how crazy it is that was somebody's version of love.
Yes.
And it makes you appreciate maybe your family, and that is it's pretty powerful. That did you get it? You good?
I think you
Sorry,
got it.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm off.
I'm gonna switch to some rapid fire questions.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I've probably got a couple. And then I want Kazi, DJ, TJ, and Brother E to take the floor and see if they've got any questions for you as well. I noticed that you are also I've seen the word ghostwriting, but I guess you're helping people form their public speaking and presence and the wordings and that. And then I see that and I go, yeah, but nowadays everybody puts it through ChatGPT and ChatGPT's doing your job for them. What's your thoughts on that?
So I think there's a space for ChatGPT, but ChatGPT will never understand the unique nuances of who you are unless you feed it to it. And sometimes we can be our own worst critics and not actually see the value in what it is that we have to offer. So I use AI. I think it's a no-brainer. It helps make things move faster. But it's about the time that we take to spend together to truly unpack the story and the full holistic version of who you are, to find what it is that it is your magic. And then you could use AI. I think AI is pretty Americanized as well. I don't think it does a great job of translating.
Like Kiwi culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it does a great job of it. It uses language that's actually not our normal everyday. And it doesn't have a soul, right?
But people were becoming relationships with them and shit, hey? I seen it on 60 Minutes.
Yes, yeah. It's a free therapist now, and yeah.
Yeah, I use it personally. I send ChatGPT my mixes or my beats and that as I'm making them, and I try to ask it from like a sound engineer as if I had an assistant in my studio, because I don't. I'm in my studio by myself, locked in, building everything from scratch, producing, mixing, fucking recording, writing, recording, guitar, and making this up and playing that. And so, yeah, I use ChatGPT to send it, and it's like, as my studio assistant, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, that's
I use it for
awesome.
random ass things.
Like, oh, bro,
How many
one
weeks has
pan
it been in this
recipes?
year? How many like random things, like straight up like random things.
One
like,
pan recipes, bro. That's
Oh,
a
the
good one.
recipes
That's a good one to
are
ask it.
on. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never done that, so I
One
might
pan
do
recipe, bro. When you got stuck, and what I did, bro, is when I was growing vegetables. You know that phase I went in. I had
Yeah.
heaps of vegetables.
Tomatoes and stuff.
Yeah, because I had a back
Capsicums.
injury, so I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be a vegetarian. I make plants and shit now. And then it forced my hand to make heaps of different food with them, because all of a sudden I had like eggplants and all these different peppers and this and like celeries and
You
beetroot.
needed ideas.
I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so I'll just be like, tonight I've got snapper, because me and the old man caught that over the
Nice.
bar. And so we got snapper, we've got some this, we got some that, and we got some this from the garden. Next minute I'm making salads out of the bloody celery leaves and stuff, and it's
Beautiful.
like, well, I didn't know I could do that.
But the recipes are really good, eh? Like some of our best cooking has come from an AI recipe.
Oh.
Or like we have like a handwritten recipe book at home, and yeah, quite often I'll transfer one from AI in because it's just that good.
There we go.
That's cool.
Get your AI recipes in and cook them up and let us know how you got on with it.
I want to see some too. Put some in the comments.
It'll be interesting to see what you people out there use AI for. Why should people vote for you? What is on your agenda if you're going into council? A summarised version of what you've got planned, what impact you're going to make, and maybe hopefully the differences you want to see.
Cool. So I'm pretty clear, like standing for the Te Awaho Foxton Community Board means I'm not a decision maker. That's for councillors. But I am a strong voice and advocate for Foxton. At the moment, I'm the youngest person standing. I am one of only 3 women standing. I'm a mother raising young children. No one else has children young like I do. And I'm proudly Māori as well. And there's not many of us standing. So for me, it's about representation first and foremost. I think as well, like I'm not doing stuff in the community because I'm running a political campaign. I've been doing that for years, right? So I'm someone who's actually come home. I am doing the mahi already. For me, it's about when you look at me, is there something about me or the way that I roll that resonates with you and makes you feel like you could be represented? I think that is key. And then the second thing is, like, I think it is high time we have young energy at this table, right? It's been a long time.
Yeah, you're the youngest.
Yes.
And you like how old?
How old am
Yeah.
I? Oh, I'm 30-something.
Exactly. There's still a whole
30-something?
there's a generation gap there though.
Huge.
Still generation gap. Because
Yeah.
if you're the youngest, means everybody else is older than that.
You could be the
Yeah.
youngest.
Yeah, watch me. Vote for Dilz.
But I think I like that. Like you said, you've already been doing all that stuff in the community, and that to me shows a lot of your character, which is important.
Totally.
I think for people like me who didn't know enough about it, and I'm now learning the characters of these people, I think that's good. It definitely resonates with me. The amount of work that you put into the community and just your morals as well.
Yeah,
I think
that's
are
good.
important.
That's good.
Is important. Morals is a really big word. I think that's a very crucial word, especially in your line of work. Brother E, questions?
I feel like everything I want to talk about, I've talked about.
Oh, that's good.
I don't pre-plan too much. I like to just come off the cusp. And I was actually really intrigued to talk to you because I actually saw Matt and Sarah Harvey put it up.
Yes.
Matt's my cousin.
And that's how.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I actually saw that. and then
Sarah
I was
is
like,
my cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
true.
Wes is both our cousins, and Myella is both our
Yes,
cousins,
yeah.
and Tane is both our cousins.
Yeah.
We're
There we
actually trying to
go.
get Tane on. I actually
Oh,
messaged
cool.
him earlier and just said, when are you back up here so we can get you on?
Yeah,
So
it'd be awesome.
yeah, so that was how I was quite intrigued, because then that got me delving into your story, and then I said to Dilz, maybe we should, and then he
is
was like,
that how
actually,
this
I've seen a
happened?
message, and then it
Okay.
started going like
Yeah,
full
because we were
circle.
talking a couple years ago about Foxton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like full circle moment. I was like, hey, do you know this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then again, now I'm happy that you've come on, because I like our conversations we've had. It's been good. And got a little bit emotional, which I don't do very often. So I actually felt good afterwards too, which is
good.
nice. So
That's a good thing. Well, hopefully that encourages you as well to bring more voices of Wahine in and mix it up a little bit. I mean, obviously you ever think about how valuable it's been to have me on here, but
definitely.
I mean, I advocate for anyone that's creating spaces that amplify voices for women as well, and I'm really grateful that you guys have done that for me today, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you
not
for
that
coming
we're disinterested. We just haven't had female reach out to us. And so if
Yeah.
you're out there in our local community or you don't mind traveling to Foxton, because I don't want to be doing those Skype podcasts and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Nah, it has to
I
be
don't want to do
real.
that. There has to be, you can't have a conversation like what we're having over a Zoom call. You just can't. So yeah, anybody out there in our community, or doesn't have to be local, if you want to travel to us, makingastatement.co.nz, and my email address is admin@makingastatement.co.nz. Should probably use the podcast one. I'm so used
Probably
to using
should.
that one. I need to
doesn't
start
matter.
using that one. Either way, I'm going to get the email. Or just message me. If you're out there, message me. Because yeah, we're here to fill up conversation and hear people's stories, and they don't have to have a background. Like, we're getting the bros on, my granddad on. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
awesome.
it doesn't have to be publicized or whatever. Just reach out to us. You know, we're open to hear from anybody. You
Yeah.
don't have to have 1,000 billion followers.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Cuzzy
Cuzzy
DJ TJ, questions.
So, I prepared my questions based on my generation and how young I am, because obviously I'm younger than Dilz and Ethan, and they're quite young. But
Thanks.
obviously there's a new generation
take it.
coming out. There's like Ethan's kids coming out, and that's a new generation compared to what I grew up with. So one of my questions is, for young independent women in the young adult world, what's one advice you'll give to them, even if it's violence, even if it's living state? What would you say to them to inspire them or prepare
Or to
them
help
for?
them.
Yeah.
Great question.
Oh, there's so many things that I'd want to say to her. I think first and foremost, like, the relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship that you will ever have in the world. When everybody has gone home, when the mahi's done for the day, you are always going to be in your own company. So make sure that you are comfortable with her. And when you can find comfort with her, you can show up as your authentic self in the world, and people are then reacting to you and not a performative version of who you are, the true version of who you are. You will quickly learn who your people are, because the ones that are repelled by the authentic version of yourself are not your people.
I love that.
I feel like I struggled with that growing up, actually, not being my true self and trying to be someone that made other people happy. And then I started finding myself doing things that I didn't agree with and all that sort of stuff. And it wasn't until I realized that I started making the changes to be a better person, because I was finding comfort in being myself. So I think,
And I come from the opposite end, because I've always just been myself and then been judged for it. Like,
Right.
there's both ends of that spectrum, eh? Like,
Yeah.
it's
There's
hard.
haters.
Yeah. It's hard, because then you feel like you got to fit in.
But then if you build your worth based on what other people think of you, then that's the bit that gets us stuck, no matter which way you look at it or which way you come to the scenario. The key is, like, are you comfortable with yourself and in your own company? Because when we can do that, we get to know who the hell are you really at the core of it all. And then when you are that person, that is when you learn who your people are and who they're not. And that can be hard, right? It can be hard to hold, but it's the way to ensure that the life that you live in, the environment that you live, is true to yourself. And I think you talk to anybody, especially our kaumātua, and that is such an important part of how we go about our day and how we make our decisions. There's one other thing that I think is important, and this would be more so for young wahine that are interested in leadership. And it took me so much longer than it should have to recognize this, but as wahine, our softness is our superpower. I think when you live in a world where you're surrounded by so many men who are leaders and CEOs and chairmen, right? We say that with ease. Chairman, it's so common for a man to fill that role. We look and we measure what success looks like as a leader based on men.
I mean, yeah.
because we don't get surrounded by a lot of women, especially when you're from communities like Foxton, right? I've learned the long way and the hard way that my softness, my willingness to be a bit more thoughtful, to think about how decisions will impact other people, my emotion, my empathy, is actually a skill that is so valid and needed at decision-making tables. And any space I'm in, whether I'm mentoring a young woman or I'm delivering a keynote talk, it's something that I always want to plant and leave behind so people recognize, don't shy away from that. You're not wrong for having a feeling about something. Speak it, say it, even if you're rattling on the inside. That's data. Bring it to the table.
Cool. And that's what you're doing if they vote for you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's maybe why, because I was raised by a single mother, I'm wondering if that's why I have such an empathetic side, because I was raised by a woman only. And I didn't have I had male role models, but they weren't my key figures. You know, my mum was my key figure. So I wonder if that is why I'm such an empathetic person in that aspect.
You had it modelled to you, perhaps, in your upbringing.
So I'm empathetic, but I say it's because I was born on Valentine's Day, so I'm romantic and loving and caring.
Okay.
That works, so we'll go with that.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah, it's an awesome question. Kazi, DJ, TJ, any other questions?
Also, because you're going to government. Oh, sorry, not government. Council, sorry. As a young person of a young generation, how would you encourage them to come help save our River Trust, and also encourage them to vote? How would you bring it upon yourself to bring it out to someone like our generation?
Yeah.
Sorry for my wordplay, by the way.
No, that's all good. I got your question. I caught it. So I think with the Save Our River Trust side of things, what you'll find is since I've become chair, we've elected more women to the table, been pretty well connected in with our college, working with the principal to bring youth advocacy to the table and decision making as well. And there's a great team. Like, it's not just me. I want to be clear about that. But we're really focused on bringing more rangatahi down to be involved in those planting days. And so those are really like easy ways to get your foot in the door, to be in and around this kōrero mahi, to see you can do small things and still contribute. In terms of the voting side of things, I'm just trying to show up where that demographic is. It's why I'm here, right? I can't reach everybody on my own. And so I feel really blessed to be able to come and be invited into your space to connect with your audience. I'm trying to use the socials as well. So a lot of mahi going into video content and content that's written in a way that is more resonant for young people as well. Because I don't think the clinical corporate stuff works very well at all. So those are the ways that I'm trying. I've opted not to, I haven't done pamphlets or signs.
Social media.
I'm not influenced by that.
I like how you're doing it because I'm seeing it.
You're seeing it. Okay, that's good.
I don't even look at
like
the
he said, you've seen the photo of Matt and Sarah. That's how he got into looking at who are you.
So that was another thing that I did. Like, I know, being local, that I have support. So I reached out to people and said, would you put your face to that? Right. And so obviously Matt and Sarah were
Barbara,
people.
well, his wife.
Yes. Yeah. Keshni. Yeah. We didn't get Rakib because he was cutting my husband's hair.
Yeah, right.
But look, I can't possibly reach everybody in this community. So I connect with other people who have their own spheres of influence. And there are a lot of people willing to put their face and their kōrero as to why they want to back me. And so I've tried to be a bit more creative. I like to take an unconventional approach, not the traditional.
So do I.
I also don't want to spend money on signs, all right? I got better things to spend my money on.
And they're just getting kicked over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even look at them. I drive straight past.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's on there.
What do you do with that information, though? Yeah. Like, what do you do with it? Or like the pamphlets. I mean, I've seen one used as a paper plane already at home.
I wouldn't read that either. It'd stay in the letterbox.
That's right. Whereas my
with
content...
your voting papers?
I don't know where those are.
You can recycle that content, reshare, utilize your community. So I've tried to be a bit more creative, and I don't know what's going to happen with that, right? At the end of the day, there's no Facebook poll or level of like feedback verbally from the community that's going to settle me. I need to see what does the vote count say at the end of the day. And I really hope that people will back me, and I really hope that they'll also back some of our long-standing members as well, because we need the balance of both, right? They got history and whakapapa that I don't have. I think together it's about the collective working together to do well.
Communication is key.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I hope that answered your question.
No, that was great.
That was good. Any other questions over there, Cuzzy?
No, I don't, but I would like to thank you because everything you said on this podcast has inspired me as a young person who lives in Foxton, and knowing how much voting and also Save Our River Trust has so much impact in my generation. Like when I want to have kids, I want them to grow up knowing that the river is safe to swim in and have, like you said, memories in the river again. Because I know that I won't, my teenage years or my young adult years, I probably won't have those experiences, but I would love to join in and help so my younger generations after me get to have that experience. And I would like to say thank you for that, and also thank you for bringing emotion to this podcast too, because I've never seen those two cry.
Wow.
And also those two.
Where was my tears at?
I'll be dead serious. Those
Zoom in
two are
on
one
them.
of my, like those two are some of my role models. And seeing them cry made me feel like I had more deeper connection with them. And also I love you too, because you guys are my
Love you
world.
too, my cousin.
Love you, bro.
And yeah,
Proud
thank you
of
for
you.
that.
Proud of you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for that kōrero. That's that. Like if that's how we end, that was worth every minute of being here
That's
alone.
awesome. And we've found, like I said, we're putting out nearly Harry Potter sized episodes and people are watching it instead of the Harry Potter. So we're doing something right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well
I think
done.
it's my thumbnails. Hey, it's my thumbnails.
I think it's having quality conversations.
Yeah.
I think then that's the biggest thing here is the
Real
whole conversation
as well,
has been
real.
so
Yes.
real and quality.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and
meaningful.
uncensored, unfiltered, unedited, and unscripted.
Yep.
Because
I
it's
think-
just having a conversation. You shouldn't need to have a whole ass thing behind it. It's just we
No.
should be able to talk down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like the exchange beforehand was, hey, like turn up at this time. Like there wasn't really too much to it, really.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome that we've been able to bring you through and have a conversation with you, Irene. I just want to put something out there too, and I'm going to break a stigma about this. I'm thinking about that event, that Save Our River Trust replanting the trees there, and I would love that because it looks ugly at the moment. I hate driving past Turks and you look up that road and it's no forest, it's just dirt, and it's not nice next to our river, especially from what I'm used to seeing. And I love that you guys are out there doing that, and I love the idea of supporting that kaupapa, and I know the help that we can bring. Like the bro said, we've got all this gear, we can come down and film it. I'm going to fucking break a stigma right now. Just because we go to an event and put it out as content, it doesn't mean we just went for the content. It's helping to utilize our platform to collaborate in that space. If we're coming and we're showing up because we want to be there.
We want to bring eyes to it
There's
as
just
well.
cameras that we're bringing to help support. And so I just want to put that out there because I'm sick of seeing dickheads comment shit like that. Where it's, you guys only went to this or only did that or only do this because there's a camera. No, unfortunately, I've got a platform and a camera is how we provide to that platform. That's how you guys see it. So if we're showing up, we're there because we want to be there, not just because we're taking a video. So I'm going to put that out there, make that loud and clear. One last rapid fire question for you, Irene, before we skip to our wrap up. What do you think of making a statement?
Like as the podcast?
As well, a collective of everything involved with the umbrella of it.
Look, I think based on my experience today, I think what you're creating for our community is a place for very real world conversations to take place. And that is so important because there are a lot of people here who don't have safe spaces to go to unpack some of the kōrero that you bring to the table in their friend circles or in their homes, but you're making that accessible and you're doing it from a place that's not a major city, right? Not with celebrities coming in the door to pump what it is that you're doing. It's very real world people coming in to chill on your couch and kōrero about real stuff. I think there's power in doing that. And for rangatahi here, knowing that that's happening here on their whenua in the space they call home, flips the stigma about what it means to come from a small town. And I think there's a lot to be said about that.
Breaks the stigma.
Yeah.
I like that.
Man.
That's cool. Thank you. Would you say we're the number one podcast in Horowhenua?
Are you walking me into that?
I think we're the only one.
Genuine.
I don't-
I think we're the only one.
You
but
are the number one podcast in the
Yeah.
Horowhenua. There you go.
Lucky. New Zealand?
There's 2 votes. No.
No, thank you.
No, awesome.
I appreciate you coming through. Before we do wrap up, we do a touch base of what we're grateful for.
Yeah.
So the week we've just reflected on it. I know you came in here saying you're at a 5 because
Yes.
of, what's this week is. And also, obviously, you've probably got a lot going on.
Yes.
You think you said
Yeah.
you did back-to-back community things before you came here, etc. You're in it right now. And I think just having that opportunity to reflect on what we're grateful for helps us maybe, if we were at a 5, maybe think about, popping yourself back up to a
How to get
6,
to a
or
6 or a
how to just remind yourself that what we're doing things for.
Cool. I think the first thing I'll say is I don't see it as a bad thing being a 5. I have a really good village around me. I have a really great husband, and so when I'm low, he can hold. That's something that we hold true in our relationship, right? So I therefore will say, what am I grateful for? It is my village. It's the people who have been helping me this school holidays look after my baby so I can show up to community. It's my husband recognizing the week that we're in and holding that space for me. It's my babies and their emotional maturity to understand that this is a big week for us as a whānau. I would not be able to be here or to show up to these Meet the Candidates events if I didn't have them to lean into and hold me. So absolutely grateful for them.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
Thank you for your whānau out there working hard and helping you do what you have to do. I know the grind and hustle, and you're definitely, like you said, showing up, and that's what you want to be as a candidate. So thank you. Cuzzy DJ TJ, what are you grateful for?
You guys already know which one I'm going to say. I am grateful for
Opportunities.
Opportunities.
I'm always grateful for opportunities.
Every week.
I was trying to think of something else that wasn't opportunities, but then it just led back to opportunities. Obviously I'm shit, you guys got me. I got to pay now.
Shit's not a swear word.
I've been barking shit for
Don't-
you for a while.
Oh, no. No wonder why there's so much money in there.
My bad. But I am grateful for obviously getting opportunities, like meeting new people that inspire me and inspire the younger generation. Also grateful for opportunities. Obviously, I'm doing a theatre show, one of my favorite theatre shows that I could possibly do right now.
Cool.
And I'm grateful that I got a main role in that. And also I am grateful today about connections, figuring out more connections and how they affect me and how I can easily go to someone and talk to someone about something that obviously isn't like you may be scared about talking about. Yeah.
Stigma.
Breaking it.
Yeah.
Brother E, what are you grateful for?
I want to say my wife again. Like, obviously, I said at the start, I've had a busy couple of days, and she just consistently makes sure that no matter what, I can go out and be the hardworking man and come home to a warm meal and a clean house. And like, I got a call on Sunday morning, which is her work day. It's her last Sunday before she goes on maternity leave. And I got the call right before she was supposed to start work, and she said, "Don't worry about it. You go. I'll sort the kids out. I'll do this. I'll do that." I got home late, and I came home at about 3:30 just before she finished work, and she said, "All good. Go home, have a shower, and then I'll come home, sort dinner." And then I got another call out after that, so I had to go back to work, and she sorted the kids to bed and got my lunch ready. And then this morning I had to leave early. She got up, made my coffee for me, and like that sort of thing. And I wouldn't be able to consistently work hard if I didn't have that person supporting me to the next level. So definitely her. But I will touch on the fact I really enjoyed our conversation. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you coming on and sharing your story with us, because it was impactful for me. And it touched me. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's cool, brother E. I'm grateful for my wife because, like I said, I got home and she's chucked the top coat on, the conservatory, and I'm just seeing the baby steps towards our end goal of what we got the house. We got it a couple years ago with the goal to do it up and make a profit and flip it and get into kind of more of our forever home or the staple home. And so we're just baby stepping our way towards it. I'm loving the transformation, but I also showed up. She knows it's podcast night. She had nachos cooked and ready. I ate them, spilt them all over my new
Standard.
Breaking the Stigma jersey, and then had to sit there scrubbing my shirt, and then I wore it inside out all the way till I got here trying to dry it out because it had wet patches because I spilt food all over it. But then, I was just thankful for the food being there in the first place. I'm rocked up, and the amount of sacrifice that goes into what we do, and
Of course.
my grind just never stops. Like, I work a full-time job and then do this outside of my standard hours. I don't sleep. I work a lot, and she holds it down. So I'm very much appreciative for the mahi that she does in our household to keep me being able to do what I do. Like tomorrow night, we're finishing work and then driving all the way to Wanganui and shooting the second half of the music video we shot last week. So it doesn't stop. We just got to keep going. I'm grateful for wifey, and I'm really grateful to have you on, your first female guest. And I mean, in a sense, like, that's something like I thought about, like, where's this going to go? Like, how's the conversation going to flow? Is it going to be different? Is it going to be, I didn't know, but it was awesome. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better conversation and a better guest to come on and tell your story and share your journey. And I very much thank you for it. Before we wrap up, Irene, is there anything that you want to close with and summarize?
Oh gosh. No, I guess just thank you. And I suppose if there's anybody out there that's listening and still has questions or wants to know more, particularly from that standpoint of the upcoming elections, send me a message. I am pretty visible out there in the community as well. I walk that main street multiple times. I buy a number of coffees locally.
Where do you go?
I do a bit of everything. Yeah. So
You don't have a favourite?
You like Robert Harris?
yeah,
My wife works there.
yeah, I did wonder. Now I know who she is now. Yeah, I know who.
She's my sister.
Yes, yeah.
I say that every time.
It started to click when you were talking. Yep. So she'll know my Americano order. But
She told me that you came in the other day when I told her you were coming on.
True. Yeah, she'd know. I do a lot of work from cafes because I work from home, right? So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I'm a very approachable person. So if you need to know more or you're confused about the voting process, then ask. I think knowledge is power, and if that's something that I can offer, then I will. And the other thing is, if I may say, voting closes October the 11th at lunchtime. And so we've only got 2 weeks left to have our say. And if you haven't voted yet, do that. And if you haven't got your voting papers, then please make the effort. It would be 3 minutes of your time to make a special vote, but that will influence decision making for your community for the next 3 years. So it's a really well spent 3 minutes in my view.
How many people are can be elected? How many?
For the community board, there's 5 seats and there's 9 people standing.
Okay.
So only 5 of us will get in, and it's like a majority votes kind of thing. You get up to 5 votes, so you can choose your top 5. You might only know 2 of us and just select 2. That's fine, as long as it's a max of 5.
Okay.
Can you put more votes on one person?
No.
Okay.
Maybe that's why they send it to you in the post and do it specially.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But no, thank you, Irene. That's
good.
awesome. Great summary. This has been the Making a Statement podcast, episode 8, which is crazy. Episode 8 of the relaunch. And we're working very hard behind the scenes to put our heads together
This
to
is
try
episode
and
9.
Yeah, I thought it was 9.
This is
fuck.
episode 9.
Episode 9.
You got to put some money in the jar.
Oh shit! That's not a swear word.
That's a swear word.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Don't confuse him. He's tallying up too much money.
Okay.
But that's our rangatahi jar again. When that caps at 500, we're going to do something special with it for our community. We talked for the youth in our community, hence why it's called the rangatahi jar. We talked about some ideas, maybe like free ice creams and do a whole ass like fucking do shit. Oh fuck. We need to stop this. Just do free ice creams for the kids. We've also got the Te Awaho Mini Fest coming up November 30th. Have you heard of what we're doing there?
Yes,
We
I
did it
listened
last
to
year.
it on Justin's podcast.
Yeah, so free haircuts, free sausage sizzles. We've got the Karate Club running that. We're going to do live entertainment and music. We're going to do the podcast live and direct with our community.
Man.
We're going to play some of the games, our 21 questions, our mystery munch, our heat seat, not sure. We'll bring it out. We've also got Making a Statement apparel showing up, and you'll be able to, grab you some new gears. And we're shooting a music video at the end of the day. So 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, November 30th, Foxton at the Cenotaph, Main Street, free haircuts and prizes and giveaways, live entertainment, great day ahead. Keep that date saved. But yeah, makingAstatement.co.nz. You can go get our gears. It's got Afterpay. You can go to Main Street, 41.
This one. This is a nice one. And it's really warm and
wifey
comfy.
design, that one. And yeah, 41 Main Street, Foxton, Care Design, awesome team there. They'll look after you. We got Afterpay online. But yeah, again, great to have you on, Irene. I'm looking forward to next week where we've got Jason Davey
Oh, cool.
coming through and sitting on the hot seat. And we're going to have some questions. Obviously, he's in the political field or run at the moment as well.
Yes.
So we'll carry on those conversations and topics and hear some viewpoints from another. But obviously he's got a background too and owns a local supermarket and that. So if you guys are listening today, make sure you stay tuned because we've got some awesome episodes to come. And if you haven't, we've done episode 9. So go back and check out our other episodes. And we're, like I said, putting our heads together and working out how we can do our 21 questions and bring back our Breaking the Stigma and create more schedule around what we're doing in this podcast to give you guys more content. So stay tuned. We're going to keep doing what we can. Subscribe, and if you're out there in our community and you may want to be a guest on our podcast, reach out to podcast@makingAstatement.co.nz. I did the right one.
You did.
Check out our website, www.makingAstatement.co.nz, or message me. My page is Dilz. You can reach out to me in a DM and I'll get back to you. But yeah, outside of that, thank you all for tuning in. I think this has probably been another 2.5 hour episode. I don't know.
Possibly. I
I
don't
can't
know
see
the
the time.
time.
Can't see DJ. What's our time?
2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh,
that's
that's not
okay.
too bad. That's not
That's
too
good.
bad. That's like a long-length horror movie.
Not a Harry Potter.
Not Harry Potter. Not that territory.
Not horror either.
But yeah, no, outside of that, my name is Dilz. Over here, we got...
Bye. I'm Ethan.
Gonna happen as fire but fighter. Ain't nobody putting it down. I'm holding it down. The common grounds and making a statement is the way to claim that you're running the town.